Good afternoon and welcome to the live stream coverage of the Tasmanian Statewide League. A massive game here this afternoon between the Hobart Tigers and North Launceston. I'm Andrew Cooling. Joining me to call the action here this afternoon for this all-important fixture is Ryan Rosendale. Good afternoon, Ryan. What are you expecting from this one, mate?
Afternoon, Andrew. Pleasure, mate. As always, massive clash today. Top four battle at stake, and really big game for the Tigers here at home. The first time they played the Bombers at home all year. They haven't beaten them up at UTAS in their two meetings earlier in the year, so big game for the Tigers, considering they have the bye next week. So their last clash before finals, and considering they've had that, they're locked on 10 wins apiece with Clarence. It's a big game because if they can sneak away with a win today, they might lock up a top three spot in the home final in 2 weeks' time. Yeah,
that's definitely the stakes here this afternoon. Not perhaps quite as much on the line for North Launceston, who are pretty much locked into second spot at this point. But Clarence playing Launceston elsewhere this afternoon. You'd favour Launceston in that one. So with the bye next week, you feel the Tigers are going to need a win here this afternoon to give themselves the 4-point buffer. They've got about a 5 percentage gap at the moment. If Clarence were to lose by a few goals to Launceston, that might open up even more. And then Clarence have North Hobart next week while the Tigers sit on the sidelines. So big afternoon for them. They need 4 points to hit the bottom line.
That's spot on, mate. Yeah, they'll take a lot of confidence out of that win last week against the Roos, where Luke Graham kicked that goal with about a second left on the clock. And they played the other Launceston team, the Blues, down here at the Twins, I think about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they played a really good, solid game, and Lonnie just pipped them at the end of the game. So if they can produce a contest like that they can do that again today, I should say, that'll go a long way in giving them confidence at three-quarter time. They'll build into a last quarter where if they're within striking distance with North Lonnie on the scoreboard, I think they'll give themselves every test, considering, as we said, this is their last game for the year before finals. So you'd have to think, listening to Coach Trent Bulmer on the Thursday pressers, that he'd set his side up for a really big clash today.
Yeah, you mentioned the Launceston game. Twice this year they ran Launceston pretty close at this venue. They play this venue very well. They're tough to score against down here. And we'll see if they can produce that here against North Launceston this afternoon. It's going to be a big clash, and we're just about ready to get underway.
Big battle here in the ruck too, between two of the premier big men in the comp, in Alex Lee and Marcus Gardner. With Gardner has really had a good second half of the year. He's played that lone ruck soldier role really for the Tigers since the loss of Tyler Carter. They used to, I guess Tyler Carter's known for that full forward position, but they used to do a bit of chop and change when Carter was in the lineup. So Gardner's got his hands full today, but he's in terrific form, so it'll be a good battle between the two big men. As the ball goes up for the start of this contest, round 20 down here at the Twins, Eddie Cole wins that one down off the ground, comes out in front of number 11 there for the Bombers in Donnelly. He's taken Luke Graham high, the match winner last week, so he'll get the first proper kick of the day. Will Luke Graham, he's a star, this man. Very much in Team of the Year calculations, you'd have to think. Luke Graham, best small forward in the comp. He kicks that one deep inside 50. Good mark's been taken there. I think it's number 13 it is. That man is Lockie Griggs, so he'll get the first shot on goal for the day.
Yeah, just some open space in front of him there. Really able to just fly at that one pretty uncontested.
Very
set
uncontested.
Up in the air, so pretty rare you see them come in with that much elevation, set up kick, and still be able to uncontested take the mark.
You usually see big Corey and Curvis kind of come over the top on those ones, so interesting that one was taken unopposed, as you say, Andrew. So Lockie Griggs will look to get the Tigers off to a terrific start here at home. He hasn't. He's put that one wide, so first score of the day goes to the Tigers, and they're up by a point.
So Fletcher Bennett just go back here, and they'll take that again. Brendan Van Buren told he just went a little bit too quickly for the umpire's liking, but the flags have been waved. He'll go now and might look to go a little bit longer. He takes a few strides out and then launches it into the breeze there. That's a strong mark. Surely going to be brought back. That's a great juke there. Takes the intercept mark. He's got Clifford on in the middle if he wants to move quickly, but instead we'll just send it into the forward pocket. Playing from behind there was Graham. Couldn't quite sit for him, and he'll have a ball in.
Had a really good year. Looking this morning, Andrew, on the stats, they've had 12 players all year, the Tigers, that have played all 17 games. And so when you look at a consistent lineup like that, there's a solid reason why, even with the loss of guys like Kieran Lovell and Mackenzie Willis from last season, that they've been able to have the year they have. So this is definitely one where they've got all their top guys in today. See a couple of them there in Will Campbell and Eddie Cole. They'll be looking to get a strong win, as we said, going into finals in 2 weeks' time. As Bombers now get this footy out of the back 50. And go over the line it is. Punched over there by the Bombers. So they've been probably the surprise packet all year of the Tigers. I know both Lonnie coaches have huge raps on the work Trent Bulmer's done down at the Twins so far in 2021.
And a big opportunity for a home final if they can win here today, as we mentioned. Lee and Gardner, that duel will be decisive this afternoon, you feel. Picked up by Eddie Coley, wriggles free and swings a kick forwards. Smothered nicely from behind, and it falls to Donnelly, who look to move it across there to Sanders, and now they'll send it out along the outer wing, building by hand over the top. Handball back from Donnelly, just out in front there of Nankervis. Will it sit? Good tackle laid. Reynolds is escorting him out of play, and there'll be a ball in.
Good to see Ollie Sanders back in the lineup, Andrew. He's only played the 2 games all year. Obviously played a fair bit in the Devils, but with the NAB League off due to the COVID situation in Victoria, it's good to see him back, and he's averaged, I think, 30.5 disposals in his 2 games. So very handy inclusion for today. This footy comes back in now. Lee wins that one down, but it goes straight down the throat of Lockie Clifford, the skipper for the Tigers. Tries to get it in front of Graham. He can't take it. That one's smothered over the line by that man in Clifford. So we'll get another ball in. We're 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. No goals yet to be kicked. Kingston with a 1 behind so far. You see Eddie Cole there on screen lining up against that man we just spoke about in Ollie Sanders. That'll be a really good battle between 2 of the young stars of the comp. As Eddie Cole there gets another tackle. Leading the comp in tackles this year. Footy comes out now. Can't take the grab there. It's Campbell gets the footy now. Good bump applied though. I think that was on Eddie Cole, it was, by Jay Foon. So we'll get another ball in. Suspender umpires had his work cut out for him so far in the opening few minutes here at the Twins.
Yeah, I think we can expect a fair bit of play down this wing today. The wind does
breezy,
seem to be going
breezy,
that way.
Yeah.
Pushing everything to that side.
See the trees there in the background.
It's down ground level, trying to get away with it was Walsh, but it's the Tigers who've come away with it, a pinpoint little kick, and now they look to get it moving quickly inside 50. You see the wind behind that one, driving it deep inside 50. Well defended from behind, though. Elijah Reardon lurking. Always a threat is the excitement machine, Reardon. Won't fall to him on this occasion as Stingle finds a handball to Sulzberger, and they're out along the outside once more. He punches one up the line, but it's going to come right back at them. Oh, just getting into a little bit of trouble there was Campbell, the man on the mark, spoiling the kick. It'll be bailed out, though, as they get the ball back under control. You'd say the early signs are the wind probably favouring the Tigers in this first quarter, right?
Yeah, definitely think they got the scoring in so far in this game, Andrew. So if they can take advantage here early in this first quarter and get a few goals on the board, it'll go a long way in them giving them a bucket load of confidence heading into quarter time. As the footy comes out now, Sanders Riley has got it that time, brother of Ollie, as we spoke about before. Mark almost taken inside 50 by the Bombers. His whistle's being blown. I think it might be holding the ball. Looks like Tommy Bennett's going to be the man with the footy. So we know what a dangerous man this guy is in front of the big sticks. Premiership player at the Northern Bombers. So Tommy Bennett, he'll have the first shot on goal for the away side today.
This will be big. First time going inside 50 and a good high-scoring chance here.
Yeah, Tigers have had a lot of the footy down in their half of the ground. So if the Bombers can take advantage of their first inside 50 here and get a goal out of it, be the perfect start for the Bombers here. As they come down the highway today, Tommy Bennett looks good off the boot. He's kicked the first one of the day, has Tom Bennett. And it's a 5-point lead now to the Northern Bombers.
Yeah, straight through the middle. Just played on nicely out to his right and drove that one through. Just a lovely kick there from Bennett. And the Tigers, they'll rue that one. They've had control the opening few minutes in terms of possessing the football. But Launceston go inside 50 once, and they've got a goal to show for it. That's what you've got to be, I suppose, kicking against the wind. You've got to be efficient when you do get those scoring looks.
Yeah, spot on. And there's another, as we said, Andrew, another top 4 clash today over at Belree between Clarence and Lonnie. So we'll keep you updated on that one. That one's not on the stream today, but you've got Glenorchy and North Hobart along with this game. So whichever game you're watching, live or at a ground, you're in for a crack of a round of TSL footy. The tackle's been applied there. Free kick, though, to Brady Rees. He kicks to the far side wing now. Down the throat of Alex Bessel. He plays on immediately. Kicks down the line. Looking for Elijah Reardon. Luke Graham's got the footy now. Tries to give over to number 26 in Keogh. But the Bombers are going to repel here through number 20 in Corey Nankervis. Graham's ended up with that footy. He's tackled over the line. It's going to be a ball up now. It is. It's a pretty contested, tight game early here down to the Twins. So we're 7 minutes gone now. So another ball in. As we see Gardner and Lee contest this ruck battle. One down there by Gardner. Goes down to Campbell. Lee's going to finish with the footy here though. Gives it off to Walsh. He kicks up the line. Who's going to win this footy now? 2 players vie for it. The Bush Rangers got it, number 23, Nathan Pearce. First year at the Bombers. He's had a really good season. Probably taken that bit of the midfield slack off in the loss of guys like Josh Ponting and Taylor Whitford. So, obviously, not the colour of those players, but he's had a pretty good first year in the black and red. As Lee comes over the top, Walsh gets a footy now. Gives off to Cox Goodyear. He kicks inside 50. What can he do, Cox Goodyear? I think he's put it through the big sticks. He has. We know what a star that man is. He kicks his first for the day, and the Bombers have the first 2.
Yeah, there's the value of having a superstar goal-kicking midfielder in your ranks. There are nobody more important, I reckon, to the success of a team than having midfielders who can hit the scoreboard, and he is one of the best at that, Cox Goodyear. Just under pressure off one step from 45 in the wind, just smashes it straight through the middle. That is just the value of a superstar player right there. Yeah,
he's a superstar, no doubt. He's averaged 1.9 goals a game this year, and that goal was spectacular. But that handball too from his teammate there to get it out to him when he was on the run at full pelt. That's a terrific play there by the Bombers. That's why they've been the premier team of the TSL for such a long time now, and they lead this game now 12-1.
And they need a response here at the Tigers. Eddie Cole handballs it over the top. That was clever to his ruckman Gardner, who'll drive them deep inside 50. The spoil came from behind. Hits the deck. Can Reardon get involved here? It'll be sent out the other way by Stingle instead. The pressure building. Riley Sanders lurking. No one can quite get a clean touch. Eventually Van Buren does, and he tumbles one outside defensive 50. It bounces on its end and then falls to Dygan. Handball over the top, and the Tigers will send it into the forward pocket once more. Nicely defended from Van Buren. They'll try and clear. It's just smothered there, the handball of Nankervis. And out for a throw-in. The Tigers trying here to get something going, trailing by 11 points. They've felt the sting of the Bombers, who've only gone inside 50 twice, but they've got 2 goals to show for it. They need to find something here, but trying to take it away as Walsh. He's wrapped up in a strong tackle from Clifford. He's going absolutely nowhere under that duress, and we'll have a ball up once again. The repeat stoppages inside 50. Can it lead to an opening? Out the back, Sanders will be first to it. He looks to skip round. He's in trouble here, Sanders. Just got the handball away in time. Walsh's kick, a low worm burner, but it works out all right, and they should be able to bounce off half back. Nothing ahead of the play, so he went back to Cox Goodyear, who went with the don't argue. Handball back to Stingle, and Stingle chips nicely into the middle of the park, and he'll go back to Cox Goodyear. Lovely build-up play this from the Bombers. Can Cox Goodyear find a target? Drives them inside 50, but nicely defended from behind. Really well done there by Lachlan Godomski. Goes up and collects it as well. The handball back, and the kick came off a step to the wing. They've cleared the area, and they might be able to get something going in attack now. The Tigers picked up by Keogh. Keogh handballs it out wide, and then the searching ball inside 50. It's smothered, hits the deck. Again, the Bombers look to pick up and clear, and they'll bounce off half back.
Cox Goodyear's the man with the footy now. Takes a bounce. He's been off the chain early in this contest. Headache for coach Trent Bumler from the Tigers if he continues to collect the footy like he has. Ball goes forward now just outside 50 for the Bombers, but it's picked up there by Godomski for the Tigers. He gives off to a teammate who's going to drive this one forward now. Gets just inside the paint of 50 there. Good tackle there by the former skipper in Rice. Comes out now to Keogh. He gives a handball off. Gives to a teammate in Bessel who drives forward. Mark's not taken there by Max College. That one's going to go over the line for a behind. So 2 straight, 12. North Launceston plays 0-2-2. The Tigers. A cracker of a game so far as his footy's come out to the commentary side of the ground now. Good mark taken there by Edmonds. What's he going to do with this footy now? He's going to drive it straight up the line. Looking for a teammate, but it's gone straight down the throat of a Tigers player in Micah Reynolds. So just going to slow this footy down now and try to repel back inside 50 now. Not a great kick though. It's worked out all right though for Sam Rice. He kicks forward, just a mongrel punt off the boot there. Goes straight down the throat of a defender for the Bombers. Michael Stingle, who's had a really good season so far. He's come back into the centre of the ground now. What can North Lonnie do here? Can they get their 3rd goal on the board? Edmonds has got the footy now. He's got time and space. Kicks inside 50. It's a really good kick, but a great spoil there from the Tigers defender, number 25. How do we pronounce that one, Andrew? We trouble with that before the game. I think it's Rahina.
Well defended by him regardless.
We'll go with that one. It was a terrific spoil. I didn't want to butcher his name because it was such a good spoil. So We'll go with Rahina at the minute.
Did well to just take it away from the dangerous Pearce as the ball's back into play inside 50. Here's Pearce again, swooping on the football. Got the quick handball off to Sanders, who snaps around the corner. Not much purchase on that. A little push out there. Got away with it. Play allowed to continue. The slick handball, too slick there for Avanta. Dumping tackle off the ball. That's got to be a free kick there going against Brady Rees. Just a lack of discipline there. And the free kick will go the way of Brandon Leary, who really should go back and slot this one.
Yeah, spot on, Andrew. It was a lack of discipline there. Just held without the footy there. And this guy, Brandon Leary, he's had a really good season. Kicked 3 or 4 goals a couple of weeks ago in a game down south. So he's one that can hit the scoreboard, knows how to do it. So he's another one of these kids that they've really plucked out of nowhere. Obviously been sitting in the development league for a few years when they've been so strong. So he's another one that's had a really good year for the Bombers.
And he comes in around about 35 out directly in front. He leans back and dissects the middle beautifully. Brandon Leary. And it's a 16-point lead early doors here to the Northern Bombers. The game you referenced was against North Hobart.
Yep.
I gave him best on ground that day in post-game votes. I thought he was outstanding. And he kicked 4 or 5 in a pretty tough day for goal scoring.
Yep.
There's a fair bit of dash about him. He's really clever with his movements inside 50. And as you saw there, he's pretty unerring when it comes to finishing as well.
Yeah, he's definitely had a really good year, Leary, and as we said, he knows how to hit the scoreboard. So this isn't the start that Coach Trent Bulmer and the Tigers supporters down there at the Twins would have wanted. So now trail this contest by 16 points. They're not out of it yet by any means, but they'll need a goal in the next 2 to 3 minutes before we hit time on if they're going to be any chance to stop this momentum train that North Lonnie's on at the minute. As the footy comes out now to Clifford, he kicks forward. It's inside 50 now for the Tigers. Can they get a goal here? Sam Rice is there. What can he do with the footy? College has taken a good tackle there by Matthew Cousins. So ball up now inside 50 for the Tigers. 14 and a half minutes gone here in the first quarter. See the wind there in the background, blowing the trees everywhere. We think the Tigers have the scoring end, but they haven't been able to use it to their advantage so far. Here's a dangerous man. What can he do with the footy? We know what he can do. I think he's kicked a point there. So we know what Elijah Reardon can do with the footy, but he said another behind there to the Tigers. So 3 straight to 0-3 so far in this game. Shows you what straight kicking can do to a scoreboard. Footy comes out now to the half-forward flank. It's drifted back inside 50. There's Graham. He might have been taken high there, Lukey Graham. Whistle not blown. So probably one missed there by the umpire.
Yeah, a little unlucky for mine. Thought that was over the shoulder. So
saw it from up here in the commentary box, but not seen at ground level by the umpire. This College applies a good tackle. It's come out now to the Tigers. What can they do with the footy here? Reardon's there. Can't take the mark. It was a good spoil in the end. Thought he had that one hook, line and sinker. What can the Tigers do here? Good spoil there by the North Launceston defence. This one looks like it's going to go over the line. It is. Thomas Donnelly helping that footy over the boundary, over the scoreline, I should say. So another behind now to the Tigers. 18 plays 4. What can they do now, the Bombers? Can they get this one up the line as Jay Foon's got the footy now? Skipper of this side. Kicks up to the wing. Who's he found? A target here. Good cut off there. Free kick should be taken. It is. So good cut off there by Lockie Griggs. Man who had the first shot on goal today. Kicks inside 50 now. Good kick. Out on the lead. Finds a teammate there. So it's going to be Max College it is. He's going to have the second shot on goal for the day for the Tigers, and hopefully he'll put this one through and bring this margin back if you're a Tiger supporter.
Definitely need to take one here. Behind starting to add up.
So can he kick this one? Max College, he's played a big role since the loss of Tyler Carter mid-year. Can he hit the scoreboard now, Max College? It doesn't look that good off the boot. Never troubled the goal umpire there. So 5th behind now to the Tigers. This poor kicking could be costly at the back end of this game. We're not too sure yet. 3 straight plays, 0-5. 16 and a half minutes gone here in the first quarter.
Sanders just chipping one in to the back pocket. A 13-point lead from an efficient Bombers side in this first quarter. That one just sat up in the breeze, spelled from behind by Marcus Davies. Now Lockie Clifford gets on it and he chips one forward. Nicely defended again by Stingle. Ball on the deck. Sanders picked it up, and by hands they should be able to clear the area. Stingle thought about his options, balked one way and then picked a good option, chipped it outside 50, and with some dash they'll take off around the outside through Whitney, running into trouble. His Cox good year but shrugs out of it. thumps a long ball down the line, and there's the impressive young Brandon Leary again. He takes the mark and gets it moving quickly, ships it inside 50 where he finds Ollie Sanders, just beyond his range, he thinks, so he goes a little bit further. And he had a couple of men, but he couldn't quite find Foon, and it's out of bounds. And a slight wasted opportunity there for the Bombers.
He had the right idea there, Ollie Sanders, but just, as Andrew said, couldn't just hit the target there in Jay Foon, the skipper. So here we go, another inside 50 now for the Bombers. They've been pretty efficient so far. Can they hit the scoreboard again? Ruck battle goes up. Foon's there. So Zach Adams for the Tigers. He's had a terrific year. Handball comes out now through Rees to Bessel, back to Adams. He's going to kick this one up the line now, brings it a bit more inboard. Good mark, almost taken there by Donnelly. He mops up there, Stingle's there for company. Can't apply the tackle there. So footy comes out now. Bit of a jump there. A trip. Umpire says no, play on. So Tigers going to get this footy now. Good tackle applied there though by Sulzberger. And we'll get another bowl up just inside the boundary line here on the wing.
Strong from Sulzberger on Adams there. Vice-like is... We'll have the ball up. A lot of play's been bogged down on this far side here due to the win this afternoon as the backup ruck in Edmonds now competing. It's the Tigers who'll take this one away. Not able to complete the intercept mark there was Donnelly. He goes back in for a second effort from hands and knees. He's trying to get out, but Eddie Cole swoops on him and wraps him up. So another stoppage on centre wing. The Bombers 13 points ahead in this one. It's been a pretty tight opening quarter for the most part, but it's been the visitors who've taken their chances. Gardner scrapping away there with Edmonds, neither able to win a decisive clearance. Lockie Clifford is on the bottom of the pack, which is not an unfamiliar sight. The Tigers number one, very much an in and under type operator. Gardner taps this one down, and then from the ground he got a little boot on it. Mark Walsh applying a strong tackle, and just for the moment, the game in a bit of a holding pattern on centre wing here. The team able to really get a decisive touch. Gardner again wins it, but again it's not really going anywhere. As Campbell dives on top, and due to the dive, and it's come out in the end, so he won't be penalised. And we'll have another ball up. Let's see if you can get the ball going anywhere here on.
Round the grounds update. I'll give you one of those before I do that. Andrew, we've got the clash over at Blunston. It's the Blues leading Clarence 23-21 at late in the first quarter, and at KG5 it's halfway through the second quarter, and it's the Demons leading Glenorchy 29-20. So a few close clashes around the grounds here in the TSL. And as we said, this ball has not moved from that spot it was 30 seconds ago. It might now as the Tigers look to bring this one out. Might have been a hold there. It has been, so the umpires called that one. Bessel's going to be the man with the footy. Kicks a little short ball up the wing. Found a target there. What can they do now, the Tigers? And they need a goal now as we tick into time on here in the first quarter. Good mark taken there by Elijah Reardon. We know what kind of marks he can take down here at the Twins. As he takes a terrific one there, he brings this one inboard. What can they do here? The big man's taken it. Another good grab. That's Marcus Gardner. And he should really put this one through for the Tigers' first 20 minutes gone here in the first quarter. That's
really clever from Elijah Reardon. Knew the kick was going to be a bit beyond him, so just got it moving quickly. He spotted the ruckman Gardner, and he had the mismatch there against the backup ruckman in Edmonds. Had the height advantage, and he makes it count.
And exactly where you want your ruckman there, inside 50, Marcus Gardner. He was in this perfect spot. As he comes in now, he should make no mistake here, Marcus Gardner. He puts that one straight through the middle. The Tigers get there first. 18-11 down here at the Twins. 20 and a half minutes gone in the first quarter.
Yeah, badly needed goal, though. Well worth a goal in this quarter. The Tigers, they've done some good work in what's been a pretty tight game. Neither team's really been able to dominate for too long, but trailing as they were by 13 points, it didn't really feel overly fair on the Tigers. So they get a goal, and boy, would they love another one before the break just to try and get it back to square.
Yeah, they probably controlled the play, as we said, in the first 5 to probably 8-9 minutes down their end of the ground, and then North Lonnie, as we said, they were very efficient with those first 2 or 3 entries, so they do probably deserve another one for all their efforts early in the first quarter. As we see if they can get one now. This ball's come out now. Dygan's got the footy, gives off to his skipper in Clifford. Good kick there out in front of Sam Rice. He can't take the mark though. He's got Cousins for company. He's going to mop up now. What's he going to do with the footy? Kicks inboard. He's found the big man in Lee. He's going to slow this one down. He plays on now. Kicks up the line. Good kick there. Going to drive this one inside 50 now, the Bombers. Burt was the man that's going to do that. Good kick there. Looks for Leary. He can't take the mark. He's weaving and waving there is number 23, Nathan Pearce. I think he's kicked the goal. Geez, that is a good goal from Nathan Pearce. He ducked, he dodged, and he kicked a goal.
Yeah, outstanding. And just knew where the goals were there. Turned back inside onto his right, snapped it round the corner, and North Launceston rewarded for taking the game on through the corridor, and that's been a difference between the two teams with the ball. North Launceston been a lot more direct. They've played with a real tempo, moved the ball through the middle, and it's just left this Tigers defence looking a little bit vulnerable.
Yeah, spot on, Andrew. I think the Tigers have really used that far wing, and they've tried to bring the ball up the line that way, whereas, as you said, when the Bombers can get that footy in the centre of the ground, they look like a team that is sitting second on the ladder. They've got that footy inside 50 very efficiently, and as we see, they've probably had 6 or 7 inside 50s, and they've got 4 straight goals out of it, as they're going to get another one here through Cox Goodyear. He kicks out in front. Mark there, not taken by Tommy Bennett. He mops up well here, though. He's got players there in support. They get this one inside 50 now deep. Leary's over the back. What can Brendan? Good save there by Micah Reynolds. Looked like Brandon Leary was going to kick that one off the ground. So terrific goalkeeper-like play there from Micah Reynolds. So the Tigers will bring this one out of defence.
Desperate defending there from the Tigers. Prevents another North Launceston goal. As that kick finds the intended target, and Jackson Keogh at half-back. He looks up, doesn't see a lot he likes, and then punches one short. The spoil came from behind, fell to Brady Rees. His handball sideways, and then they'll launch it down the line. Playing in front was Stingle. They'll have another throw in at half-forward, and once again just working their way down this far wing, the Tigers, but finding it a little bit tougher to move the ball. The North Launceston defence pretty well set up to stop that, and back the other way. They've just been so efficient. Tigers need something before the break here, because it'll be the Bombers with the breeze in the second quarter. It was a strong bump load by Cox Goodyear initially, and still looking a little bit worse for where the Tigers play. There'll be a throw in at half forward for them. 24 plus change have ticked by in quarter number 1. Won't be too far away from quarter time. Hasn't been a host of stoppages in this first quarter. Lee back in the ruck now, looking to win that one decisively. Couldn't quite find Jay Foon. Taken away by the Tigers. Clifford sweeps the handball over the top. He found Digan, but he'll go no further.
Alex Bessel, really good play there. He's a man to cut that off, and he got that footy back. He would have been streaming inside 50 with a kick. So good play there by Alex Bessel. A pretty consistent year. He's one of those players that have played the majority of the games so far this year. For the Tigers, as I said, they've had 12 players that have played all 17 of their games. So pretty consistent lineup down there at the Twins. As the footy cuts come out now to the Tigers, they're going to bomb this one high up in the air through Zach Adams. A breakout year, that man. But it's going to come straight back down the line for the Bombers, as Donnelly's got the footy now in the centre of the ground. Here they go again, bringing it back inboard. Mark not taken there. Can they mop up here? As we see Campbell sprint off the bench. He doesn't get there quick enough, though. Footy's come inside 50 now. Good play there by Lockie Godomski. Really good one-on-one contest won there by that man, Liam Jones-like, from Godomski. As the footy's come out now to Lockie Griggs. On the half-back flank has a short option on. Uses it. Mark not taken there by an experienced head in Marcus Davies. He blew that opportunity there. Good tackle applied there, though, by the Tigers as calls for ball. I heard it's been rewarded there by the umpire. So just in front of the Tigers bench is the footy now. What can they do now? Almost 26 and a half minutes gone here in the first. They're going to need a goal here very quickly from this play. As we said, we don't expect too much time to tick over in this first quarter. As Digan's got the footy now, the vice-captain kicks inside 50. Who can take it? Over the back was College. He couldn't take the grab. It's come out, though, to a teammate. What's he going to do with the footy? I think it's going to go over for a boundary throw, and it is. So one last chance you'd have to think here for the Tigers. As we almost hit that 27-minute mark, there wouldn't be long left in this first quarter. 25 plays 11. Pretty straight shooting, North Launceston. Pretty inaccurate. Kingston has been the tail of this contest so far. As Lee wins that one down in front of College. Campbell's there. Too many going to beat into the footy. He might get it now. Will Campbell, the man they call Soup, dodges around one from the boundary line. Kicks to the top of the square. I think a mark's going to be taken. No, it is. Good mark taken there by Braden Van Buren. Another one of the stalwarts of that defence for the Northern Bombers. So takes his time now, just runs the clock down a little bit. So I'll be looking for the quarter-time siren. North Lonnie after a pretty impressive first quarter against the wind. Footy's come out now. It's won there by Tommy Bennett. It's going to go here. It's going to go over the boundary line just in front of Lockie Godomski and Brandon Leary. So good first quarter here by the Northern Bombers. They'd be pretty happy with this start against the wind. 4-1-25 plays 1-5-11. Tigers asking themselves a few questions at quarter time, potentially to bring that ball more into the centre of the ground and use the corridor a bit more than they have in this quarter. We've seen what it's done for the Bombers. It's Eddie Cole's on the bottom of this pack as he has been all year. Might have been in the back there from Foon. Play on, says the umpire. Comes out to Walsh now, gives off to Sanders. He gives a handball out to Lee. Finds his skipper in Foon. He might have been taken without it. Play on, says the umpire, but a mark's been taken now for the Tigers. Play on, called. One last chance maybe. Can they get a goal out of this play, the Tigers? It's not going to go inside 50. It's going to go out of bounds it looks like, but they keep it in. Sam Dygan, I think he might be over the line. So tackle applied there by Braden Van Buren. And we'll get another boundary throw in. Fair to say this boundary umpire's had one more boundary throw and then he's a counterpart on the other side of the ground with the amount of ball over this side of the ground, Andrew.
He's earning his paycheck, that's for sure. He
definitely is.
He's getting on this one as Sanders. He'll swing that towards centre wing. Siren, you'd imagine fairly imminent, and he'll have some more work to do here as it just trickles out ahead of Judah Edmonds. 29 minutes gone. I think the siren pretty imminent. The Bombers would be the happier of the two teams heading into the break with a 14-point advantage. The Tigers looking for a win here to increase their chances of a home final in week one. Needing to win probably to be any chance as this one falls to Cole. His hands back to Garner. The big ruckman showed strength to get his kick forward, and he found it inside 50. Took a fortuitous bounce to Marcus Davies. His handball off, just fumbled at the worst possible moment from Samuel Dygan. Might have had a play there otherwise. Snapping back inside 50 is Clifford. The mark agonisingly unable to be completed by Max College as it's taken away from him, and that will do us for quarter number one, a quarter in which Kingston spent a large part of it on the offensive, but have a 14-point deficit to show for it. Yeah,
spot on, Andrew. It was really all Kingston in the first probably 5 to 10 minutes of that quarter, but as we said, the ever-efficient North Launceston first three inside 50s, they kicked goals out of all three of them. So when you can kick 4-1 to 1-5 in the first quarter, it shows you that straight kicking can really give you an advantage for later parts of this game. So probably some questions will be asked by Coach Trent Bullner to his group at the quarter-time break, and you think from his opposing coach in Brad Cox, could you be pretty happy with that start away from home down here at the Twin Ovals?
Yeah, great kind of a away performance, especially against the wind there. They were efficient. They defended well under pressure. The spoils were coming in pretty readily and took their chances when they went forwards. The Tigers, well, they've been very good at the contest and clearance kind of game. The midfield's been playing really well, but just unfortunately haven't been able to take those marks inside 50 when they've been heading in there. Yeah,
it's probably cost them, as we said early in that game. And when as you said, when you got guys like Zach Burt and Tom Bennett inside 50 taking marks, and when you got your coach in Brad Goodyear streaming inside 50, kicking goals from 50, it causes headaches for coaches and players alike. So we said, no doubt they'll regroup here at the quarter-time break, and they can come out and kick the first 2 or 3 goals, even the first one, to give them a bucket load of confidence heading into the second quarter, because as we said, they've challenged the best team in the comp, Launceston, down here a few weeks ago, and they led pretty much up until probably 10 to 15 minutes into that last quarter. So they know that they're a good side at home. They're a good side away from home, as we know, but they're probably a 2 to 3 goal better side when they do play here down at home. So there's no doubt they're not out of this contest yet, the Tigers, but there'll definitely be some questions asked and hopefully some answers received in the second quarter.
We'll be back in a few minutes' time. We'll have a little bit of a break and be back with quarter number 2 here at the Twin Ovals. The host trailing by 14 points, but an interesting game in prospect here. Do stick around. And welcome back for quarter number 2 here at the Twin Ovals. Tigers trailing by 14 points after 1 quarter of action against North Launceston. And not good news on multiple fronts if you're a Tigers fan, with Clarence currently leading Launceston over at Belrive.
Yeah,
Ryan.
Spot on, Andrew. Yeah, they've taken a 11-point lead, sorry, a 9-point lead, I should say, at half-time, 33 plays 24. So for a Tigers supporter, you'd be pretty nervous considering you really need to win this game to lock up that home final in 2 weeks' time. So we'll see what they can do here in the second quarter. As the footy comes out now, it's going to go to Alex Lee for the Bombers, though. He kicks forward. Bert's there. He's got a teammate there in Jack Event for company. He's got the footy now. Gives back to Walsh, who gives to Bert. He's got Donnelly in the centre of the ground. He elects not to go that option. Good mark taken out over by the Tigers defender in Godomski. So he's going to bring this one in the centre of the ground. Comes out of the wing, I should say. So it's gone down the throat of Sanders. He brings it back inside. We've seen them do this throughout the first quarter, and that's been the result. They bring it inside and they kick it inside 50, and more times than not, they usually get a good clean mark and a shot on goal, and that's exactly what's happened this time. And Cox Goodyear is going to line up for his second.
Yeah, the ball use has been outstanding, really, from North Launceston. They've got a very impressive kick mark style about them, and it's working despite the conditions.
So Brad Cox Goodyear, coach of this lineup, usually kicks these on the run from 50. Can he kick one on the set shot? It looks good off the boot. Is it going to make the distance? It is, but it's going to drift to the right of screen. So Brad Cox Goodyear, 1-1 for the day now. Kicks the Bombers' first point. They're 5-1. Sorry, 4-1, 26 to 1-5-11.
So they'll take over in the back pocket here. The Tigers, a little chip ball outside 50 again. It's a poor one though, and easily just cut off for the second time in a row by Riley Sanders. He looks up inside forward 50. Nothing jumping out of him, so he just sets it up for the big man to fly. Almost worked, then picked up by Event. He's caught in a strong tackle, going nowhere. We'll have a ball up. Nicely done there by Donnelly to ensure he couldn't skip away.
Really good. Sorry, Andrew. Really good kick there too by Sanders. You saw Tommy Bennett telling that it was a good kick, just the mark wasn't taken.
Adams scoops the handball out, and they'll rappel away here with a long ball down the line. Can they find a way through? It's going to be Elijah Reardon first to the fall of the ball. A creative player, Reardon. That's a clever kick. Spots his target in Campbell, who turns and goes quickly. He had a man on deep. Couldn't quite find him there in Diagon. Will the ball sit for him? Eventually it does. He's escorted out of play by Nankervis. Was it in the back or out of play?
Might have been out of bounds.
Has said out of play. So a ball in inside forward 50. Just wouldn't quite sit accommodatingly there for Diagon. It was good swift ball move, and that kick from Elijah Reardon. Delightful stuff there. They're going to need more from him here if they're going to get back into this one. Such a game-breaking player as Reardon. As the ball hits the deck inside 50, the quick handball, well smothered. Reardon lurking once more, but the Bombers should be able to clear the area, and they will through Cox Goodyear. He chips it up the line, and he finds Thomas Donnelly. His kick smothered by the man on the mark. That was a little bit messy. Reardon picks it up, looked to bounce off. He's going nowhere. Strong tackle laid there, and we'll have a ball up.
Yeah, really good tackle there by Sulzberger, and as we spoke about just before that, good smother there by Will Campbell on the mark. So a couple of 1% plays there from each side. As Walsh is now wrapped up with the footy on the deck. So we'll get another ball up here. So we're ticking to that 3.5 minute mark in the second quarter. 4-2-26 plays 1-5-11. Tigers really need this next goal. He's going to create any momentum here in the second quarter. So work this one backwards to go forwards now. It's come out now to Alex Bessel. He kicks inside 50. It's a high footy. College is under the ball here. Graham's there too for the Tigers. This one looks like it's going to stay inside. It'll be a ball up. So just on the paint of the boundary line here, on the paint of 52. We've got another ball up. And under the footy was Cox Goodyear, as he always is. One of the best players in the TSL's history, that man. He comes out now. Cole's got it for the Tigers. He's brought that one back inboard. Can a mark be taken here for the Tigers? It's not. Good spoil over the boundary line by the Bombers. As we said, this is the last roster game for the year for the Tigers. They've got the bye next week, and depending on which way you look at it, Andrew, it can be seen as a blessing and as a curse, because, as we said, they're locked in that battle with the Clarence for a home final in third spot. So, yeah, would you rather, I guess, either way you look at it, would you rather the week off before finals to catch your breath, or would you rather play that last game and lock yourself in for a home final down to the Twins? It's an interesting conundrum, I guess, for Coach Trent Bullen to have heading into the last 2 weeks of the year.
Yeah, that one just out of play ahead of Reardon. I think ordinarily a week off mightn't be the worst thing to freshen up for finals, but if Clarence were to overtake them in the final week while they're on the sidelines, I reckon that position would be reviewed.
Yeah. All depends, I guess, on what happens at the end of next week. So it'll be very interesting.
Oh, Edmonds, a very dicey kick, that one. He's turned it straight over to Cole. Can he make them pay? Not with a kick like that, he can't. Although there might be a high tackle there. Oh, indiscretion from College. Just sloppy with the tackle technique there, and they might be made to pay here because they've just gone bang, bang, and suddenly they're deep inside 50 in the space of 2 kicks. Well defended initially, but the handball not a great one. Whitney from the snap. He might have the journey, not quite. Seeing it through is Rees with the spoil on the line. Whitney not quite enough on that one, through for a minor score only.
Really good play there by Brady Rees for the Tigers. So they bring this one back out to the far side of the Twin Ovals now, but it's cut off there by Zach Burt. Just to play this on pretty quickly. He's a bit confused of what he wants to do with his footy. He's going to kick long inside 50, it looks like. Who's he got there? He's got a man over the back in, I think that's Rushton, it is. So goals being kicked there by the Bombers. That's what happens when you get quick play inside 50. So Jackie Rushton, the man that's kicked that footy through the big sticks, and they extend their lead down here at the Twins as we're halfway here through the second quarter.
Yeah, 2-on-1 deep inside 50 is always going to be tough to defend, and the wind just took it over the head of the defender there. Just misjudged a little. They allowed Rushton in. As soon as that went over the back of the contest, there was only going to be one result. And again, North Launceston, the speed at which they're getting the ball inside 50 compared with Kingborough, which is a bit more laborious. It's a higher ball they're sending inside 50, and really I think that's been a big reason for why one team has looked so much more efficient than the other.
Yeah, well, you look at that scoreboard and it's, 8 scoring shots to 6. So they've had plenty of the footy inside 50, the Tigers. They just haven't been able to put it through the big sticks, but they might do now as Eddie Cole drives inside 50, looking for Reardon. Dygan's there, good punch over the top. Can he keep this footy in? Reardon, he can't. So we'll get another boundary throw in, and as we just said, when you've got 8 scoring shots to 6, you think it would be a pretty close contest, but when 5 of those scoring shots are all behinds, it makes it pretty tough on the scoreboard. So 1-5-11 at this point in the game, plays 5-3-33. It'll be tough now for the Tigers. They're going to need a few more goals here in the second quarter if they give themselves any chance in the second half, as the footy's come out now. Tigers have the ball. I think it's come off the boot. It's going to be a throw-in, I think. No arguments there from Walsh. So we'll get another boundary throw-in just in front of the Tigers bench here at the Twin Ovals. So Eddie Cole, Lockie Clifford here, sorting themselves out. 2 of the prime movers in the guts for the Tigers. Clifford's got the footy now. Good blind turn there. Gives off to Adams. He's got Cole out wide. He's got company now, though. Good work there by the skipper in Clifford. Kicks inside 50 now. Reardon with a good mark. Terrific play there from the highlight reel, Elijah Reardon. He's going to get his, I think, second shot on goal for the day.
Yeah, good hands there. He's been targeted a few times, and pretty good work from Stingle and Bennett defensively on him so far in contest. But this time he's able to take one, and a must-kick goal is this for Elijah Reardon.
It's a must-kick goal for sure. Played the first half of the year in the defensive 50, and with the loss of Tyler Carter, he's been shifted forward. Has Elijah Reardon. Can he kick one of his most important goals for the year? He can't. It never looked like going through. So another behind now for the Tigers. 1-6-12. Plus 5-3-33. Danger signs now if they can't get that kicking to be a bit straighter when they go inside 50.
Yeah, pressure building at 21 points. And we're going to need the next one here, the Tigers. Well, that lead's going to start to get out of hand. The Bombers have moved their way on top in this quarter. That's not a great kick, though. It's going to go straight to Zach Adams, who just revels in doing the intercept work. He's fantastic at that part of the game, and he chips a little one to Eddie Cole. Cole looks up and sees a pretty crowded 50 in front of him. The lead's come, and eventually he's just going to blast it long to the square and see if someone can fly. Reardon was there, couldn't bring it down. Stingle took it for the Bombers. His handball off to Griffiths. Got it out to Sanders, swept it across to Donnelly, and Donnelly drives one outside 50. Good work there under pressure for the Bombers, and it falls the way of Sanders. Sanders of the Oliver variety will look back and just wait for a few options to present before shipping it sideways. So good job by the Tigers players off the ball to just stifle them a little there, prevent them from breaking with speed as they've done throughout this game. Cox Goodyear's handball to Griffiths. He drives it down the line. That's a really good intercept mark taken there.
But McCulloch's the man with the footy.
He's done very nicely there, McCulloch, and he chips that one forward where he finds Jackson Keogh. They'll keep it moving quickly here, the Tigers. Can they find a target inside 50 again? The spoil came from behind. The North Launceston defensive unit doing a great job in the air in this one, and they're off through the middle. Foon did well to get some purchase on the handball, but there were plenty of Tigers parked back there. Donnelly thumping this one away. And again, the intercept mark is taken by Riley Sanders, who's notched up a few of them today, but he in turn has gifted it straight back to the opposition.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's had a really good start to this contest, Riley Sanders, but not his best work there, as the footy's back inside 50 now for the Tigers. Sanders is there for the Bombers, though. So he's number 6. That man is Michael Stingle, it is. So good tackle applied there, though, by Eddie Cole. He's the number 1 tackler in the comp all year. Good to see him back in Tassie playing footy after a few years in the state. His dad, Anthony's a stalwart at North Hobart. Brother Will, plays D-League, and he's played a few senior games this year. So interesting to see him down at the Twins, but he's had a really good year in his first season for the Tigers. Footy comes out now. He's taken over the line there, Braden Van Buren, I should say. We'll get another boundary throw in as we tick into the 11-minute mark now here in the second quarter. And the ground score updates for you. Clarence have taken out a 15-point lead now over Launceston at Blunson Arena. 45 plays 30. And still over at KG5, the Demons lead Glenorchy 36-27. So a few close clashes wherever you're watching TSL footy around the grounds. All games this weekend coming to you from the south of the state. So no doubt there's a fair few people watching along from up north on the stream today. A few would have made the trek down the highway too. Pretty good day for a drive down the Midlands Highway, Andrew.
Yeah, and of course a Clarence win in that one, coupled with a Kingston loss here, would mean a Clarence home final locked in ahead of next weekend. Yeah,
they'd love that. The Roos means they won't have too much pressure next week when they tackle the D's at North Hobart Oval.
You can just experiment a little as Sanders, who's had plenty of it, cleared the area, and now it's picked up there by Edmonds. He was legged. He'll get the free kick there.
Davies thinks it was against him, but it was actually against the man before him. So
fairly straightforward one right on the umpire's eye. Can't leg a man, as that's a slightly risky handball in the middle of some heavy traffic. Got the kick forwards. It was impacted a little bit though, and they'll take over here, spinning one way then the other's reason, then just flung it out the side. That's going to invite a turnover because Pearce was there for the Bombers and he sends them inside 50. Not the best kick either. Gathered eventually by McCulloch. The pressure comes now and the tackle applied by Rushton. We'll have another ball up.
He's had a really underrated year, Blake McCulloch. Probably himself and Lockie Godomsky. They're the two, I guess, pillars of that Tigers defence. They usually take the best 1-2 combo key forwards all year, and they're not really spoken about in terms of the best defenders in the comp. But yeah, Blake McCulloch and Lockie Godomsky have had a really good season, and they're a big reason why the Tigers sit pretty comfortably at the top of the ladder so far in 2021. We get a boundary throw in now, deep in the attacking 50 for the Bombers. Gardner wins that tap down. They're looking for Reardon. Can't take it, but he applies a good tackle on Nathan Pearce. So we'll get another ball up here. Gardner looks to go unopposed, but Alex Lee with a late run in, I should say, wins that footy down as Rushton's got the ball now. Cox Goodyear just throws the man off him, trying to tackle him, and Foon's got the footy now. He kicks inside. What can they do now? It's come back out for the Tigers through Rahina. McCulloch's there now. Dealt with after the fact from Burt. No whistle from the umpire. What can they do here? The Bombers are going to drive it back inside 50. It's wide. Up for a mark was Reardon. Not paid, couldn't take it, says the umpire. That looked like it could have been something special there.
I reckon he first touched it when his feet were back on the ground.
Yeah,
he went that early.
He went a bit early, didn't he? We know he knows how to take a good specky, as we saw last year. He took that terrific one in front of the bench on the opposite side of the ground. So we know he knows how to take them, but on that occasion he flew a little bit too early. Elijah Reardon, head in the clouds type. figure that man. As the ball's come out now to Sanders, he kicks inside. Leary's there for the Bombers. He can't take it, so's Rushton. The boundary line beats them all, though. We'll get another boundary throw in. 14 and a half minutes gone here in the second quarter. It's a strong lead to the Bombers. 5-3, 33 plays. 1-6-12. And as we said, the story of the day for the Tigers has been that inaccurate goal kicking when they're inside 50. So it's the area of the game they really need to polish up here in the second quarter and for the second half of this game. There's no question about that. So we get another boundary, ball up. And the forward 50 for the Bombers. Lee goes up, wins that one down, but Campbell's going to get the footy now for the Tigers. He's tackled immediately, though, by Sanders. Terrific play by the young man there.
Just get the sense they're turning the screws a bit here, the Bombers. They're really applying the pressure. Yeah. And the Tigers need to hold firm at the back here. If they can see the next one, that lead's really going to get out of hand. And again, they can't get past halfway. The black and red wall just parked back there. Eventually it'll be swung forward by Bambura, and his kick just impacted by a little bit of pressure though, and that allows the intercept mark to be taken. The chip over the top was a terrible one though. Allowed in Ollie Sanders, who shows a little bit of dash, turns, and he pumps them inside 50. Here's an opportunity. Again, Gadomski's solid, although he might have infringed. Leary picks it up, takes the advantage and slams it through. Another goal for young Leary, and the lead extended to 27 points.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with that one, Gadomski, but it was probably there from the umpire, so right call paid, and Brendan Leary, the smart play to take the advantage and put that one through the big sticks, and as you said, Bombers kicked the next one, so that makes it incredibly hard now for the Tigers. 6-3, 39 plays, 1-6-12, and this wasn't, I guess, the contest we thought we were going to get here today. As we said, it's a top four clash, and Tigers, they play pretty good footy when they're at home, and it's their last game before the finals, so they would have set themselves for this one all week. After that really miraculous win last week against Clarence, they would have set themselves from Monday night, so they're not out of it yet by any means, but it makes it incredibly tough now. 6-3, 39 plays, 1-6-12 midway through the second quarter. They're going to win this footy now, though, through Eddie Cole. He kicks inside 50, over the back. College can't take the mark. Marcus Davies is there. They've sent him forward as another option. Big man can take a mark. He's on the deck now. College is there. Gives a handball out to a teammate in Keogh. Steps around one. Does Sam Dygan. Can he put that one through the big sticks? He can't. That's another behind now for the Tigers. 1-7-13. So, as we said, it's been a story of their day so far. Accurate kicking. 8 scoring shots to 9. So this game should be a lot closer, but you can't put them through the big sticks. Makes it incredibly tough for your side as the footy's come out now. It's on the wing. But it's gone over the boundary line. And you think that would have to be the message from Trent Bulmer at half-time, Andrew, that they're in this game. They've had plenty of the footy and they're getting it inside 50, but they just can't be that accurate when they go inside.
Yeah, they need to start taking their chances, and really 1-7. It would be a slight upset if they were to win today. When you're trying to pull off an upset, you need to take your chances. As this one swung inside 50 again, just cutting that off is Riley Sanders. Been really impressed with his work behind the ball so far in this first half. That one might come right back at them though, as Clifford goes back to gather. Swung it across, and they'll blast it deep inside 50. Flying was Max College, couldn't bring it down. Across with Stingle now, he'll look to execute the switch. They don't really have the spare on up the wing, so just delayed a little bit and hoped that things would develop. Eventually they're able to work it there to Brandon Leary, who's worked a long way up the ground to provide an option there. And they retain the ball nicely, just chipping him out of defence. Now it's Walsh. Good composed football. They've certainly been the better side by foot today. They've all used. It's been night and day with some of the stuff. Unfortunately, it's been served up by the Tigers. As Thomas Donnelly happy to just take his time, control this game. It's on their terms right now, and he sends it. That's a lovely kick too. He finds Pearce there, just dissecting this defence at the moment. Pearce maybe just beyond his range. The wind might give him a little boost. He doesn't look confident, but he eventually thought about the handball to Walsh, but he was well marked. So he's now going to go. He's going to wheel out to his right and give it all he's got. I don't think he's got the journey. It's coming back into the goal square. Picked up there by Edmonds. Ball hits the deck. Leary lurking. That's always dangerous. But it's going to be locked up. A ball up right at the teeth of the goal square here.
Yeah, you could tell he wasn't confident there, Pearce. So he's kicked that one to a good spot though. Top of the goal square now for the Bombers. Can they work some magic here and put one through? Cox Goodyear almost did off the deck. Might have been pushed in the back. Play on, says the umpire. He's set upon by 2 players now. The whistle's being blown for a ball up. So he's been around the footy a lot today, Cox Goodyear. He's had a terrific year. He's running, from memory, I think he's running 3rd in the TSL Player of the Year votes, sitting on 14 behind Jay Foon, Jake Hines and Jay Blackberry. So it's an all-north top of the year at the TSL Player of the Year in the last 2 weeks. So that'll be a tantalising look at the end of this round and the end of next week to see who wins that award. But we've got a shot on goal now for the Bombers. They're going to look to put their 7th of the game through and make it incredibly tough now for the Tigers. So the man with the footy is going to be Alex Lee, one of the premier ruckmen in the TSL. He's had a really good year. He's battled injury a lot throughout his career, but he's won a couple of flags here at the Bombers. So you know what a good player this man is. He comes in now looking to put through the Bombers' 7th of the day and make it incredibly tough for the Tigers. He's missed that one. So opportunity going begging there for the Bombers to extend that lead. 6-4 40, I should say. I must have got the better of me there. Plays 1-7-13. Andrew Cooling.
It was a very ordinary kick from the ruckman, but they might get another chance here and go for the 7-point play. But that was equally as ordinary from Jay Foon, who turned it straight over to Rees, and the Tigers will take it. And they'll look to build back the other way now. From half back, the handball. Ooh, flying in was Whitney. Kick sent down the line by Rahana. They've managed to keep a hold of the football, the Tigers, and now they'll swing it towards half forward. And in traffic trying to take the mark was Clifford, coming through the other way. Walsh got it to Cox Goodyear. And now it's Sanders again. With some composure, he sends it wide. And now they'll go back inside and chip it forwards. Good defensive contest coming from behind from Godomski there. Pearce coming through. And then trying to bustle his way through was Judah Edmonds, but he's going nowhere. So another ball up in the middle of the park. With Launceston, I feel like they've just seized control of this game here in the second quarter. They're starting to get a bit more of the football as well. As this one is battered down towards Marcus Davies. His handball across to Lockie Griggs, who tumbles one forward to an awkward bounce. It might work out all right, though, for Jackson Keogh, who'll wheel back around onto his right and then pump them inside 50. Defending well, though, it was Bennett. Spills out the side. And a free kick over the shoulder has been spotted.
Could be a free kick to Sammy Dygan.
Yep, just getting him a little high there was Stingle. And a chance for Dygan. No, a pretty tough angle against him. He'll take his best.
It will. He's a good player, though, Sam Dygan. Vice captain of this tide. Played off his footy, junior footy at North Hobart. Came across to the Tigers all those years ago. And that contingent came across from Hobart City. North Hobart had their name changed, so can he put the second one through for the Tigers here?
Fair to say they need it. From the tightest of angles, it's Dygan. He sits it up, and he's put it straight through the middle. That's a lovely kick. That's a goal of a leader. Boy, did they need that one. They cut the margin to 21 points. Their second goal of the day. They've passed up some far easier opportunities, but eventually they do find their second major of the afternoon.
They have definitely passed up easier opportunities than that, but Sam Dygan showed his class and his skill there. As you said, Andrew, a really leader-type goal there. They needed that one. If they're going to be any chance of making a late charge here. Sitting now 2-7-19 to 6-4-40 as we're well into time on now here in the second quarter. So they can maybe pinch another late one here to give them a little bit of confidence heading into the third quarter that if they can tighten up that straight kicking inside 50, they might give themselves a chance to run over the top of the Bombers here. There's a good tackle was applied there by the skipper in Clifford.
Well, they've done enough right in this match to believe that they can still win it,
they've had plenty of the footy and they've been able to get the footy inside 50. It's just that last piece of the puzzle where they have to get it through the big sticks. It really hasn't paid off, and if Sam Dygan if his teammates can copy what Sammy Dygan did there and kick a terrific goal from a hard angle there, as we said, they'll give themselves every chance to run over the top here at home. As the footy's come out now through the Tigers, they kick inside 50. Good mark taken there by Reardon. He's really getting himself into the game here in the second quarter. Probably beyond him here probably about 52 to 53 metres out when he kicks. So might go for it though. He runs around, gives himself a bit of space. Elijah Reardon, what's he done there? He's missed, I think. He has, so he's missed another opportunity there. 2-8-20, play 6-4-40, a 20-point lead here to the visitors in the Northern Bombers. Good mark taken there, not paid by the umpire though. Thought we had enough of that one, Cox. Good ya. So did he. See him there, tell the umpire, I had plenty of that footy, mate. You should have blown your whistle. I think a free kick
there.
And a free kick too has been paid. So, bit of a high tackle. He's definitely, as you said, Andrew, salt in the wound there. Mark should have been probably paid, and he's gone for the follow-up tackle, and he's been pinged for a high. So, things not going right there for the coach of the Bombers. As we get inside 50 now for the Tigers. Reardon's there, but Lee comes over the back. He's spoiled by a teammate in Stingle. As a man's got the footy now for the Tigers. But it's not going to trouble the goal umpire there as Van Buren takes a pretty easy chest mark deep in defence. He gets around the man on the mark. Brings it out to the commentary side of the ground. Zach Burt takes a mark right on the siren, and we might have a little bit after the fact here as Zach Burt gives him the old throw the footy at him. Auskick style there, Andrew, and that one doesn't look like it's going to eventuate in anything too major. We've seen a fair few half-time and three-quarter time melees this year, so good to see that one hasn't eventuated there. As we've got a pretty good contest here. It's a 20-point lead at half-time. 6-4-40 plays 2-8-20, and the Tigers, as we said, they've had plenty of opportunity. It's just been that last piece of the puzzle when they can't put it through the big sticks. But as we saw Sam Dygan put one through on a tight angle, so no doubt they'll take a bit of confidence from that goal in the half-time.
Yeah, no doubt. We do need to give some credit to North Launceston, though.
They've been pretty good.
They've been very good with the football. Their ball use has been really impressive. Just the patience they've shown at times, and then other times they're flicking the switch and attacking through the middle. They're just making good decisions with the football. They're using the football better, and that's why they've got a 20-point lead. Defensive unit's been pretty solid. I think Stingle, Bennett and Van Buren have controlled the skies for the most part down there in defence, and I think Bradley Cox Goodyear would be pretty content with the first half his side have just produced.
Yeah, definitely. So the goal kickers, just before we head to a short break at half time here, Brandon Leary's kick 2 for the Bombers. He's the only multiple goal scorer on the ground, and singles to Nathan Pearce, Jack Rushton, Thomas Bennett and Bradley Cox Goodyear, the coach. While for the Tigers, Marcus Gardner kicked the first one in the first quarter, and Sam Dygan added a second late there in the second quarter. So we'll take a short break here at the Twins. We've got a 20-point ball game. It's the away side in North Lonnie with a lead. The Tigers will come out after half-time hoping for a better performance in front of goal than they produced in that first half. We'll be with you soon.
Today we would also like to acknowledge all of the Adopt a Tiger player sponsors who have kindly supported our players throughout the 2021 season. Your support directly to helping players continue to participate in the Tasmanian State League and represent the Kingborough, Kew and Channel communities for the Tigers is greatly appreciated.
we are back for the second half here from the Twin Ovals. Kingston Tigers trailing the visitors North Launceston Bombers at 20-40, 10 scoring shots apiece. But it is the Bombers with a handy break as we turn here for the second half. It's been a pretty tough physical game. Both teams have had spells in the ascendancy, but ultimately one has just been a little bit more efficient with the football line.
Yeah, spot on, Andrew. They've been definitely the more efficient side, have the Bombers, but you saw in that second quarter they were able to really limit the goal scoring opportunities the Bombers had. The Tigers, it was 2-3 to 1-3, so they would have taken a fair bit of confidence out of that second quarter, and as we said, that goal to Sam Duggan, the last one kicked in the quarter, was a pretty special one, so if they can take the momentum out of that into the early part of this third quarter, they might be able to cut this margin back and give themselves every chance heading into the last as play gets underway here in the third quarter at the Twin Ovals. Around 20 TSL action. We'll give you an around-the-ground updates in a few moments. A few good clashes of footy in the south of the state today as Walsh has got the footy now on the far wing. He kicks down the line, straight down the throat of the opposing number 4 in Will Campbell, a man they call Soup. Good to see him back. First full season back in the TSL after that injury previous couple of years ago. He's a terrific player as Will Campbell. He's had a really good season, played every game so far in 2021. So footy's gone inside 50 for the Tigers. It's bounced back out now, but Graham's going to put it back inside. Can he get it to Duggan, his vice-captain, I should say. Sam Duggan, don't tell me. He kicked a really good one in the second. He can't do it again there in the third. That one's trickled over the boundary line for a throw-in. So some good early signs here for the Tigers. They've had all the ball. Can they get an early goal through the sticks and apply a bit of pressure to the Bombers? Andrew Cooling.
It would have been just about goal of the year if he had have, worked that one back with the banana there, Duggan. Not lacking confidence after his first half goalers. Gardner and Lee duel inside 50 here. Cox good year after it, couldn't quite gather it. Handball out, just eluded Stingle. Not able to pick it up cleanly. Eventually Clifford goes in and he's besieged there on a tackle from Walsh. He wraps him up. It's been football today around the contesters. Just nominating the rucks. One down, the Bombers will take it and clear the defensive 50 with ball into the middle of the ground. Fell to Elijah Reardon though, who looks up and just immediately pumps it in deep. It's a good ball. He finds Big Gardner leading out. The ruckman was still down there. And a strong grab that one, and a great chance to get the third quarter off to a perfect start here.
Yeah, spot on, Andrew. Terrific grab there from the big man. You saw him kick the first goal for the Tigers early in that first quarter, so this one's a lot more important. Can he put through his second and really drag this margin back to 14 points and really put a bit of scoreboard pressure on the Bombers to hold this lead heading into the later stages of this third quarter.
Saw College miss one in the first quarter for an early goal. Can Gardner find the goal where he missed? He can. He puts it through. It's a great start to the quarter for the Tigers. They needed that one. They kept the margin back to 14 points. And given the wind that is out there, you'd think they're going to probably need to be in front of this game at three-quarter time to be a chance.
Yeah, spot on. Yeah, if they can use the wind to their advantage and kick 3 or 4, even 5 goals in this third quarter. We know they've been able to get the footy down there in the forward line and hit the scoreboard, just not in the way they've wanted to so far in this game. So it's looking a little bit better now. 3-8 plays 6-4, and even though Marcus Gardner had to make the goal umpire work for that one, he put it through the big sticks. It's his second of the day. So he's been a multiple goal kicker for the Tigers. Brandon Leary has 2 for the Bombers. It's the skipper for the Tigers. Clifford kicks this one forward. Who's he got there? He's got a teammate, man in front. His number 33 in Tom Wright. Sam Rice is there for company. So is Eddie Cole. What's the umpire going to say here? My footy. Arms go straight at the chest. So we get another ball up here just in front of the commentary position here at the Twin Ovals. Lee goes up against the undersized ruckman. He wins that one down, but it's come out to Clifford, who gives to Griggs. Griggs now with a short kick. That one's gone out on the full, it seems. So Bombers now will look to repel this one up to their forward half of the ground. It's been all Kingston early in this third quarter. Umpire calls play on. They look to bring this one backwards to go forwards now. That's a dangerous kick. It's worked out all right though. It's come out to number 29 in Sulzberg. He brings back inside to a teammate. He's going to drive this one up the line. It's what they've done all game, but it's good work there. It's cut off by Bessel. He gives a handball off to, the man that got the footy was Bessel. He got it from right. Good mark taken there again by the big man in Gardner. He's been so influential all season since the loss of Tyler Carter, and he's been pretty influential today, Andrew Cooling.
Yeah, good delivery there. A flat ball into him, which just means he can just extend the arms, use his height, and not give the defenders the chance to leap and spoil. But he's just parked himself in the goal square, and a chance for 2 in a minute here.
So Marcus Gardner, can he kick his third of the day? His second of the quarter. He can. The big man's got 3. The Tigers have 2 in the third, and they're coming with a rush, are the Tigers. 40 plays 32, 4-8 to 6-4. Andrew Cooling, looks like the game we wanted. It's the game we're going to get here in the second half.
Yeah, just making some inroads. The Tigers. And the big fella just proving the difference here to start the term. Just parked himself back in there. And that's a dream start, really. 2 goals in the opening 5 minutes on an afternoon where goals have not been easy to find.
No, they've been at a premium. They haven't been at a premium, though, over at Launceston Arena. It's Clarence leading that game 53 to 47 early in the third quarter. And it looks like the Demons are going to walk away from KG5 with their second win of the year. They lead that one by 20 points over Glenorchy, 56 plays 36. So good signs if you're a Demon supporter. Going to get their second win of the year. It seems they can hold on over at KG5. We'll get back to the action here at the Twins. It's come out to Campbell. Sanders applies a bit of pressure, but he gets his kick away. Does the man they call Soup. He's giving it to Dygan, but that ball's going to go over the boundary line. It's beaten them both. So good to see. As I just said, North Hobart, they've had a pretty tough year, Andrew, and had that win early in the year against Lauderdale down at Skybus. So their second win of the year is going to come away from home again. And for Glenorchy, it's a pretty disappointing result considering they probably set themselves for a big win today at home.
Yeah, I think they would have been looking for a little bit more out of that one. As trying to wriggle free here is Eddie Cole, and picking it up is Luke Graham. He's going absolutely nowhere. And they started this quarter well, have the Tigers.
They have.
And doing all the attacking and really dialing up the pressure on the Bombers.
2 straight, which they haven't done for the majority of the game so far. So maybe they did a bit of goal kicking practice in the sheds at half-time. Who knows?
They were back out there quite early to start the quarter. They were out about 5 minutes before the Bombers players.
We did notice that, so maybe that's what they were out for, a bit of goal kicking practice from Master Coach Trent Buller. You know what a terrific season he's had in the box. Got to keep the majority of his list out on the park all year. As we said, they've had 12 players that have played all 17 of the Tigers games, 18 if you count today, and they've had 7 players that have played between 14 and 16 games. So we can keep the majority of your list healthy and on the park all year. Gives you a really good base to work from. That's why they're sitting third on the ladder at the minute and looking to tee up a home final here today before they have the bye next week, if they can get out on the scoreboard and really put the foot down against North Lonnie as they have done here early in the third quarter. As Graham kicks someone to Dygan, who sets it out in front. Really good kick there. College has dropped the mark though. That was a sitter. He's not happy about that either. So opportunity gone begging there for the Tigers. Could have been their third goal of the quarter and would have cut that margin back to 2 points. And a bit surprising. You look up the scoreboard now. It's only 8-point margin when you think North Lonnie's probably been damaging for the majority of the game. And Kingston, they've just been able to stay with it. And as we said, they weren't able to hit the scoreboard the right way, but they have in the third quarter, and it's got them the closest they've been all day.
Yeah, keep getting the ball inside 50. Eventually the pressure might tell. That's a good defensive tackle laid there.
It's probably, sorry to cut you off, it's probably the stat they've won for the day, I'd say. Kingston, they probably had the first 4 or 5 inside 50, so they've had the first 4 or 5 here in the third quarter along with that. So it's a stat they're definitely taking control of for the day. So be one that North Lonnie will probably look to counter-attack here.
Yeah, the key difference being this time they're able to take a couple of marks and convert, whereas everything was being spoiled early on. Here's the impressive young Riley Sanders.
Good mark.
It's a lovely kick too, just chisels one out to find Zachary Bird, who will switch it out across to Cossins. They've been happy to be patient at times here, and building with little chip kicks. That's not a good one though, puts it right in dispute. Has to be strong over this one. Eventually Lee comes in and takes it away. Got to Cox Goodyear, and key moves getting involved there for the Bombers, and the penetrating kick of Cox Goodyear is a good one. He finds his man in Jay Foona at half forward. Foona looks up. He's got the leads coming into the pocket. They come. That's beautifully defended from behind there. I think it was Godomski just taking it away from Leary.
Davies, I should say. Letting him know about that one. Skipper Jay Foon comes over just to separate them. It's a bit stiff there, Brandon Leary, not to get a free kick for over the shoulder, but we digress as the ball comes back in now. Lee just takes that one out of the ruck, does the big man. Has he put that through the big sticks? He hasn't. It's gone through for behind. So 6-5-41. North Launceston plays the Tigers 4-8-32. The Tigers have been in control here in the third quarter. That's a dangerous kick there, though, in defence for the Tigers. They've worked out well here, though. Good mark taken there on the half-back flank. Got a man running past here. He elects to give it to him. Oh, bump. Apply there. That was dangerous. That one might be looked at during the week, but looks like both players have come off well there. So, good result in the end. As the Tigers have worked this one forward now. Keogh's there. So is Tommy Wright. He's come out to the skipper, though, in Clifford. Ed Cole's there too. His handball doesn't go to the man he wanted in Griggs, but he's worked well here. Griggs, he's given it back to the skipper in Clifford. He brings in board. 2-on-1 here. Brady Rees, what can he do here? Good tackle applied by Rees. That was really good by the young man. Campbell's there. So is Clifford. Comes out now. Griggs is a man free. He goes backwards. Back to go forward. Gets around a couple, though. Goes straight down the throat of Edmonds, though, for the Bombers. As we see Davies and a North Launceston player just to the far of screen in a bit of a tussle. As we see the umpire there telling them to separate. So that man's Burt. So Davies and Burt, two hot heads, having a little bit of a tussle behind the plate. As it comes back out now to Reardon. Foon's there, though. He's got Cole for company. Good play there by Eddie Cole. Footy's come up to the Tigers bench now. It's gone out of bounds for a boundary throw in. So, bit of tension in this game now. Both sides know how important this clash is. Tigers obviously with a bye next week. They need to lock up a win here today to really lock up that top three spot and get that home final. North Lonnie, obviously second last game of the year, and for all accounts they'll probably be facing their crosstown rivals Lonnie in a first final. So they want to be going with all the momentum they can in a pretty important clash in 2 weeks' time. The ball's come out now. Good tackle applied there by the Tigers. What's the umpire going to say here? He says holding the ball. So Luke Graham's the man with the tackle. He's got the footy now. He was a hero last week. Says, come to me, boys. Kick this one inside 50. It's not a great kick off the boot. It's cut off there by Donnelly. He gives out now to a teammate. Running through his Cox Goodyear. He brings back inside. Gets around one. Touches the footy on the ground just in time, says the umpire. Brings this one wide now. Who's he got there? Jack Rushton's there, but it's a good spoil there by Tigers defender. Bird applies a bit of pressure. They bust through, does Sanders. He comes out now. He's got time and space. Gives it over to number 21 in Ryan Whitney. He kicks inside 50 now. One-on-one play here, but it's good mark taken there by Elijah Reardon. Terrific play there. He's gone back now, so good mark taken there by over Event. Bit of pressure now on Brady Rees as he brings that one back inside. It's cut off though by a North Launceston player.
A little chip from Bennett. Finds his man and then they work it further into the pocket. It was a poor kick though. Didn't do his forward any favours there. Straight out of play for a throw in, and they've been pretty good with their ball yesterday, but just breaking down around half forward there as they try and find a goal against the runner play here. The Tigers making their move in quarter number 3 as they try and haul in this deficit. They need to win if they want a home final. Lee didn't quite win that one down. In dispute inside 50. Here's Pearce, who's slammed to the ground by a strong Rees tackle. Falls out the way for Whitney. He just stands it up inside 50. Trying to bring it down there was Edmonds. Couldn't quite be. Showed good strength. Got the handball off. The snap from Sanders was a poor one. Off the side of the boot. And eventually it'll trickle out of play. The head of Lockie Griggs down there. And it'll be a throw in inside 50. The Bombers pressing here. Just trying to restore that more comfortable margin. They're being pushed here as hard as they have been throughout the contest. It's back into play. Lee goes unopposed. Won it down the handball. A good one to Sanders, who snaps home a lovely goal. Easy as you like. Lee to Sanders. And from the tightest of angles, he snaps it home. No problem. Goal kicking's been pretty good today, Ryan.
Geez, he's a very talented young man, is Sanders. As we said, he's back in today after a season full of Devils duties. You can see why he's in the Devils squad. Ollie Sanders, that's a terrific goal there. And said Andrew, they've been pretty clean in front of goal all day. 7:5:47 now, plays 4:8:32. We're 14 minutes, almost 14 and a half gone here in the third quarter. And that one isn't one Kingston would have wanted. They've played a pretty good third quarter so far. They kicked too early through the big man in Gardner. So what can they do now? Can they respond here in the third quarter? They need another goal. They need the next one as College comes over the top. The umpire says that one's a free kick. So it might have been leg there. So it's going to go the Tigers' way. Zach Adams has got the footy now. He streams down the wing as he has done all year here at the Twins. He kicks deep inside 50. Gardner's there. Good play there, though, by Van Buren. As two men come over the top. Gardner's there. Tries to get it forward to Eddie Cole. I think he's kicked that one off the ground. He has. Eddie Cole, terrific goal. The Tigers respond.
Instinctual, that finish there from Eddie Cole. It was bobbling around. He just swung the boot at it. Finds the goal, and more importantly, the immediate response there doesn't allow that goal to linger from North Launceston. Answers right back in a hurry.
Terrific there from the big man in Gardner. I'd hate to pump his tyres up too much, but he contested well and he got that ball to the ground, and when the footy was on the deck, he got that little tap forward, and Eddie Cole was there to kick that one off the boot. So he's been instrumental here in the third quarter. He's kicked two out, his hand in the other. So he's the most important player on the ground now for the Tigers. He's been put forward, it seems, by Coach Trent Bulmer. Max College has taken the ruck duty, so they're coming now, are the Tigers. As the footy goes up, he wins that one down. Comes out through Eddie Cole. He's dumped, though, by Jay Foon. Play on, says the umpire. So ball's come out now. Mark not taken by Pearce in front. A Reardon just streams away from him. He kicks inside 50. What can they do here, the Tigers? They've got a lot of company here. Sam Rice, the former skipper. Can he kick an important one? Great tackle there, though, by Jay Foon. Gardner can't put that one through the big sticks. So a point now for the Tigers. That was a terrific tackle there from the skipper in Jay Foon. Goal saving there from their star midfielder.
Rice not trusting the left boot.
No, he's applied a lot of his trade in defence as Sammy Rice, so didn't trust himself in front of the big sticks there. Footy's come out now. Bit of fumbly work there from Van Buren. Gardner's going to apply the pressure here. We'll get another ball up. 7:5:47. Plays 5:9:39. Almost 17 minutes gone here in the third quarter. We've really had the game we wanted from the opening bounce here in the third quarter. It's been tight. It's been good. The Tigers have come with a rush. Can they continue this steam train? Or can North Lonnie respond here and get momentum back on their side as Cox Goodyear brings this one up the wing? It's come out now to a teammate. That's Ryan Whitney. But it's going to come straight back to where it came from. Back inside 50. Good mark taken there by Luke Graham. He's a star small forward of the competition. He's kicked the most goals out of any small forward in the game this year. He's going to have his first shot on goal for the day.
The speed at which the ball's coming in is making a big difference
it
here.
is.
The defenders in that first half were able to just pick off these high area balls. Now they're shooting low bullets in there, and the forwards playing in front and getting reward for it. It's just so much harder to defend that type of entry.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself, Andrew. That's spot on. It's really been the tail of the first, second quarter, and then this third quarter. It's been the big difference for the Tigers. It's been the reason why they've got 2 goals on the board in this third. Can Luke Graham put through a fourth, I should say? He has. So that's 4 now in the third quarter for the Tigers, and we have a 2-point ball game down to the Twins.
Yeah, it's been a great fight back. They were going to need to make their move in this third quarter while they've still got a slight wind advantage. Not a massive breeze, but still certainly impacting things. This has been the score again today, and they are making it count. They're back within 2 points. If they can find a way to hit the lead, boy, will that dial the pressure right up on the Bombers heading into the last. But this has been the most dominant spell of the game that either side has had for kind of 10 minutes, really. Yeah,
spot on. 4-1 here in the third quarter. So the Tigers, whatever Coach Trent Bulmer said at half-time, it's definitely got his side in a gear, and they are dominating this game in a minute. They still trail by the 2 points, but they are coming with a rush down here at the Twins as that one's kicked out of there. But the whistle's being blown by the umpire. I think it might be a free kick to Eddie Cole. It is. So Eddie Cole's going to be man with the footy. Can he get this one inside 50 and put the Tigers up for the first time since the early part of the first quarter?
Pumps them inside 50. It's a searching kick again. Gardner, the lighthouse down there, the beacon, the target. He swung this game, the big fella. The Bombers should be able to clear the area, though. Van Buren shrugs clear. His kick not a great one, though. Eventually tumbles up into the arms of Edmonds.
Good tackle.
Who's reefed to the ground in a powerful Marcus Davies tackle. Lets him know about it too. Strength there. Immediate handoff to Elijah Reardon. Didn't really have anywhere to go, so just chipped it sideways to Adams. Adams tried to sell some candy, and Big Alex Lee was not buying, but he's been penalised for a dumping tackle.
That's a tough one for the big man. He did everything right there, Alex Lee. Zach Adams tries to get around him that time. He almost had him there for speed, but you'd be pretty disheartened if you're Alex Lee there. Did everything right. Small man tried to get around the big man. He said, not today, mate, but he's been pinned for a dangerous tackle. As that footy goes inside 50 now. Is there a man who can take the mark for the Tigers and put them in front on the scoreboard? Good tackle applied there by Will Campbell on Cox Goodyear. That's holding the ball, says the umpire. It's all the Tigers down here at the Twins. They're going to get another shot on goal to put them in front.
You can just feel the intensity and confidence flowing through this group at the moment. They're hunting in packs. They're tackling hard. They've got a scent of a victory here if they can keep going.
They can.
And boy, are they playing some good football.
They're the number one tackle team in the comp, and they've shown why in this third quarter. They are coming with a bucket load of steam. Would have liked to be a fly on the wall in the rooms at halftime. Whatever Coach Trent Bulmler said has definitely had an effect. They have come out here. This will be their fifth goal of the third quarter if they can kick it, and it's going to put them in front on the scoreboard. Will Campbell, the man they call Soup, can he put the Tigers in front here in the third quarter? He's made no mistake about it. The Tigers are up.
They have come from the clouds here. It was 40-20 at three-quarter time, and they've scored 31 points in 20 minutes here after scoring 20 in the first half.
It's been a pretty miraculous third quarter, Andrew. Did not expect this at all at half-time. We said off air that if North Lonnie could come out and just kick the first 2 or 3, then it might just put a hole in the sails of the Kingston's momentum. But it's been a bit of a role reversal now, and the Tigers have really come out, kicked 5 goals to 1 in the third quarter, and they've been the most dominant, as you said a few minutes ago, patch of play here in the game so far.
It's been very impressive stuff indeed from the Tigers. Can they keep it going, or will it be North Launceston who respond? So many stars in this outfit. Here's one of them in Jay Foon, who'll send them inside 50. The bounce. Oh, what a clean take from Leary. He steadies himself and sets sail for home. It'll be a spectacular goal, but it's just offline. The clean pickup and the composure there from Leary. He's a talent, this kid.
Looked like it was through the big sticks there from where we were sitting. Wasn't to be, though, for the Bombers. As Eddie Cole could have been taken front on. He is advantage, says the umpire. Zach Adams is the man with the footy now. Goes deep. Is Gardner there? He is! Marcus Gardner, you star! Oh, what a mark taken by the big man. He is in control in this third quarter as Marcus Gardner.
This is just reminding me of a few times Fremantle used to send Big Sandy
forward,
and there was just no way you could defend him if the ball came in at the right height. We're seeing that here right now.
He is the most dominant man on the ground so far, Marcus Gardner, in this game. He has been terrific in the third quarter. He's kicked 2, had his hand in another. Can he kick his 4th of the game here, Marcus Gardner? He can't on that occasion. That one hurts for the Tigers. 7-10. 52 plays 7-6, 48. Out of all the goals he's kicked, that one probably deserved one from that mark, Andrew.
That was more reminiscent of the first half where they were passing up the opportunities. They've been very accurate throughout this quarter. They kicked 5 goals, 1, and just missing one he should have had there. And they'll get the ball back, though, as that one's picked off by Blake McCulloch. And they want to take advantage and build a little bit of a buffer if they can before the final term. It'll be the Bombers with the win at their backs in the final term. So I feel they probably do need to find at least one more, if not 2 more here in this quarter. It's been a great quarter of football from them. Dygan been instrumental in the fight back. They're quite content just to chip the ball around for the time being, though. I haven't seen a lot of that from the Tigers here today. The Bombers have been reasonably content with this type of approach.
I mean, time's really gone away from us too. It's now, 23 and a half minutes gone, so we're well into time on now, so it's probably a smart play from the Tigers just to control the footy now for the last part of this contest. And they're going to walk in here with a lead, and if they can extend it, all the better for it.
Charging inside 50, Stingle. It's a poor kick, though. He's given it straight to Godomski, who's been pretty impressive down back for the Tigers. He's won most that's come his way. This one chip to half forward as they build with speed once more. Marcus Davies with the mark. Now comes the big kick, and he spot up a target. Is Gardner lurking there in the goal square once more? That's just where he heads. Couldn't bring this one down, the big fella. Fell to Graham. The quick handball and the snap on goal.
Good mark taken.
Taken in the goal square, and Digan slams it through for a 10-point lead. They've kicked another one. They've kicked 6 goals to 1 this quarter, and they lead this game by 10 points.
They are well in control here, the Tigers. This is by far one of the best quarters of TSL footy a team has produced in 2021 so far. They've left it to their last game of the year with the bye next week. It's their last roster game. So the Tigers, as you said, Andrew, a 10-point lead now late here in the third quarter. They have got all the momentum here in this game. And as we said on the quarter-time break, there would have been questions asked at the break by the Tigers. And you'd have to think at three-quarter time now there'd be questions asked of Brad Cox-Goodyear and his group. Can they respond in the last quarter? They've got a bit of time here. You'd have to think there's a bit of time to play here, given there's been 7 goals kicked in the third quarter. But questions will be asked. Can they respond in the last quarter at North Lonnie? We know what a good outfit they are, but they've got everything against them now with all the momentum in the Tigers' favour as the footy's now back inside their forward 50. Sam Rice is there. He's got the footy now. Keogh's there, but it's well taken over the line there by the North Launceston defence. So they've had a heap of pressure, have the North Lonnie defence in this third quarter. It was nothing like they felt in the first half. 7 goals in a quarter is pretty good stuff by the Tigers. We saw North Hobart do it last week against Lauderdale down at Skybus. So terrific third quarter action here on the stream, or if you're watching live at the ground down at the Twins. So we get another contest here just on the half forward flank. That ball's going to be taken over the line. You can see the intent and the tackle pressure. They can feel it, can't they, the Tigers? They know they've got all the momentum now, and if they can just control the last part of this third quarter, you'd have to think they'll go in a three-quarter time with a whole heap of momentum and confidence that they can really walk away with a win here. As the whistle's being blown, there might be a blood rule to big Alex Lee. So definitely not what we expected here in the third quarter, Andrew, and it's been really a tale of a half and a quarter if you're a Tiger supporter. 10-point lead now in this game. As we said, 8-10, 58, plays 7-6, 48. 7 goals to 1 here. Sorry, 6 goals, I should say, to 1 here in the third quarter. So terrific play here by the Tigers. Good tackle there applied by Bessel, but it gets away from him there. Good play here by the Bombers. As Michael Stingle's got the footy, gives over to a teammate, looks for Pearce. He can't take the mark though. Should take possession, I should say. As it's come out now, Tigers going to repel back. What can they do here? Is this footy gone? It's gone to the wing. Digan's there, got it from Rice. He kicks forward now. It's a good kick, but the boundary line beats College. That one's going to be out on the full.
Tried to disguise it there, Maxi College, but clearly over as the Bombers look to take it quickly and just punch one down the line. It's
come back to him.
Back at them though, just deceiving our cameraman there momentarily. So 27 plus change gone in the third quarter. It's the Tigers who've made their move. They lead this one by 10 points over the Bombers. Crucial last couple of minutes here before the break is it's back into play once more. It's Reynolds duelling with Edmonds. A strong tackle laid by Stingle. We'll have another ball up on true centre wing. You got a score from Launceston Clarence Flores there, all right?
I do, Andrew. It's still Clarence ahead late in the third quarter. 71 plays 66, and it definitely looks like North Hobart will get their first win of the year. It's late in the last quarter there, and they're ahead 70 to 56. So really good signs there for the Demons. They'll get their second win of the year heading into next week against the Roos. And the Roos, if they can hold on, makes it very interesting come, I think, 4:30, 5 o'clock today to try and work out the ladder and who's got the advantage heading into the last round of the year.
I think it would mean Clarence would just need to win over North Hobart.
Yep.
Not by any margin. A win would be enough to see them through. So big ramifications there. We'll be keeping a close eye on that result as we tick here, as we'll keep a close eye on this one. It's the Tigers by 10 points. They had a great last gasp win over Clarence last week. Could they win another thriller here today and just really build nicely into the finals?
You'd have to think they'll take a heap of confidence out of that game last week. They trailed for a lot of that game against the Roos at Bell Reeve, so the fact that they're in another tight battle today against a top 4 side, they'll take a heap of confidence from last week. That's a huge tackle applied there by Pearce, and they're into it on the deck. Wasn't happy with the attention he received there, Lockie Griggs. So free kick after the fact. I think it was the ramifications there from Pearce. He's got a bit overzealous and took him high. So 29 minutes almost gone now here in the third quarter. He said 7 goals kicked in the third, 6 of them from the Tigers. So still be a few more minutes left to play here in the third quarter. So boundary throw in now. You can see the Tigers faithful there. They'd be pretty happy, and I'd say maybe a bit even shocked, Andrew, in the third quarter action they've seen here at the Twins. Not even we expected the Tigers to come out and produce the kind of footy they have so far. The big man Marcus Gardner, a key reason in that. He's kicked 3 this quarter, and he's had his hand in 1. Sorry, 2 this quarter, had his hand in 1. He kicked 3 for the game. So he's been one of the most dominant men on the ground. As the ball's come out now for the Bombers. They bring this one back inside. Good kick there. What can they do here? He's got time and space there, does Stingle. He brings inside 50. Not a good kick though. Tom Bennett's going to work out well here as the siren and the boundary line beat them both. So we are in for a grandstand finish here at the Twin Ovals. 58 plays 48. Andrew Cooling, that was some sort of quarter from the Tigers.
Yeah, they have made a real statement there and put the ball firmly in the Bombers' court. They'll have a slight wind at their backs in the final term, but they're going to need to really turn this game around at the coalface too, because they were belted out of the middle of that quarter. And perhaps a little surprising, in the absence of Big Gardner, they were still able to win it out of the middle. And then Gardner, boy, did he make his presence felt deep in the goal square. Just parked the big fella back there. It's real old-fashioned football 101 type stuff, but it's led for a remarkable turnaround here.
He made a massive impact, Marcus Gardner. So you'd have to think Brad Cox-Goodyear and his coaching staff will try to clamp him down here in the last quarter. As we said, we're in for a grandstand finish here at the Twins in this top 4 clash. It's a pretty important one. As we said, Clarence are currently leading at three-quarter time over at Bell Reeve, 77-66, and we've got a final score of 70-56 at KG5. So 1 game all decided, 2 yet to be decided, and it's the 2 most important ones of the round. We'll take a short break here, but stay with us on the stream. We are in for a grandstand finish at the Twin Ovals. We've got a 10-point ball game. We'll be back with you shortly.
Previously master broker in Tasmania since 1878. Leading insurance brokers, QBE, TSL, Harcourt's Kingborough, Tasmon, Choices Flooring Kingston, Celebrations, Kingston Panel and Paint, Co-op Toyota, and CPR Property Group. Today we also take the opportunity to acknowledge our Adopt a Tiger player sponsors. And we thank you as a group for your contribution to our players in season 2021.
target, and it's bound to happen.
Welcome back to fourth quarter action here at the Twins. As we said, 10-point lead now to the Tigers. They had all the momentum there in the third quarter. But Zach Burt has taken a mark here for the Bombers, so he'll look to get momentum back on his team's side. But as we said, it was 6-2, 38 to 1-8 in that quarter. It was a 30-point turnaround from a half-time. 20-point deficit to a 10-point three-quarter time lead, Andrew. So now the pressure is on North Lonnie to respond.
A huge chance for Zachary Burt to do just that. He goes back. Has he left that hanging?
No, I think he's put it through. Just
sneaks it through.
Made the goal umpire work for that one, but he's put that one through with Zach Burt. So it brings that margin back to 4 points now, and we have got a hell of a contest here at the Twin Ovals. So 8-10-58 plays 8-6-54. So it was a pretty miraculous turnaround from the Tigers in that third quarter, but North Lonnie, you can't take anything away from them. They were so good in that first half. They were pretty accurate in front of goal when the Tigers weren't. That's the reason why they've still got a chance in this game.
Well, that's an absolute dream start. A goal in the opening minutes, centre clearance, straight to your forward, kick a goal. Couldn't have scripted it any better, so they're awake. They've responded.
I was going to say, it was the start they needed. Definitely would have been the start that Blackhawks Goodyear would have set at three-quarter time. If we can kick that first one, get a little bit of momentum back on our side, we'll go from there.
So will they be able to continue that renaissance? That was a huge leap from the Lee, who's come off
second best to the ground there, Alex Lee. I think he went up expecting the opposing ruckman to kind of break his fall as he went, but he dodged out of the way. So did Micah Reynolds. He's back up on his feet now, Alex Lee.
Cliff Gustner is Sanders now in the middle.
Yeah, I think he's won a free kick there. Eddie Cole doesn't agree with that one, but I think that one's pretty clear cut.
Yeah, just went low and drew the high contact and been playing behind the ball in the first half for Ollie Sanders. So that's one shift. They've moved him into midfield to try and do a little bit better there because it was an area they were really, really losing badly in that third quarter. He sends them long inside 50. Spoil comes from behind. It'll be gathered by Clifford. Quick hands across to Davies. Shrugs free of trouble, but his handball makes McCulloch work for it, who shifts a kick wide. It was a poor one, picked off by Stingle, who's pushed up here and will send them deep inside 51 small. It's just held up by the man on the mark there. Now driving it deep. The big fly comes from behind. Pumped on out of there by Griggs. Tumbling kick, and it finds a target too. And they'll look to attack now through Tom Wright. Gets them moving quickly. Wasn't the best kick though. There's plenty of numbers out there favouring the Bombers, and the numbers won't quite win out because a good tackle applied by Graham, and the ball up, probably a good result there for the Tigers.
Yeah, good result. Looks like we see Gardner there drifting back forward, so it looks like they're going to continue to play the big man deep inside 50. Yeah. Hard to argue with that from Trent Bulmer because he's been so influential, especially in that third quarter. Kick two, he had his hand in one, so it looks like Micah Reynolds might have to take the majority of the ruck duties. He's been caught holding the ball there from Mark Walsh. So can North Lonnie bring this one forward and take the lead on the scoreboard, as they have done for the majority of the game, especially in that first half. They led the majority of this contest, but as we said, it's a pretty miraculous third quarter from the Tigers. That's why they lead this game still by the 4 points, as Will Campbell kicks this one up the line. Who can take a mark here? College is there, but Lee's the man in front. Sorry, Van Buren is the man in front. Another one of the tall timber there. So he's got Nankervis on short. He goes there. 15, says the umpire. That one's paid. He's about to give a handball off, but he elects to go inboard to Walsh. He's got a bit of time now. They've done this all game. They bring it back inboard, then they go inside 50. This one comes a bit wider. It's Van Schulzberg. He gives off to a teammate in Fletcher Bennett. Can he line up? Put it through. He can't. So just a one behind there. Makes it a 3-point ball game here at the Twins. 8:10:58 plays 8:7:55. So 4.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter.
Kellick chips a little ball and finds Gadomski. Look up and see plenty of bodies in his path. He opts to just chip one. It works out all right. He found Zach Adams just the 15 metres. So they make their way out of the fence with a series of short kicks, and they head really wide here. Spoil. And coming from behind, the spoil made there by Whitney. Out of play for a throw in as they just a little too tight to the boundary line there. You can see the game has swung a bit in the final quarter. It's tough kicking into this wind. It's a lot tougher to play that fast ball movement game that saw the Tigers scoring 6 goals in quarter number 3. It's going to be tougher for them in this term as everyone runs past the ball here, and then Cox Goodyear got there and got taken over the shoulder, I thought. But
one miss, spot on, Andrew. Missed there by the umpire.
Umpire on the blind side of it probably helped him get away with that one, but again, we'll have a stoppage on centre wing. Lee won that one down. Cox Goodyear knocked it in front of himself. Helping out there was Stingle. Eventually going back in and put the handball out, but it'll be the Tigers through Campbell, who just lost his footing and almost flung it forwards there.
Did everything right there. Barkeep his feet. Did Will Campbell.
Burrowing in now, and we'll have another ball up. It has been a pretty congested game in midfield today, right?
It has, and you can feel the intensity lifts here at ground level. So both sides really wanting to win this game. As we said, it's the Tigers' last roster game for the year with a bye next week and their first final the week following. So they really want to win today, but North Lonnie just as hungry for a win coming into the last 2 weeks of the season. Play on now. Good shepherd applied by a teammate there. Allows the ball inside 50. Reynolds is the man in front. Pearce, Elijah Reardon, I should say, was the man in front. As Rushton's with the footy now. He gets a kick away. It's gone to Zach Burt, who's already kicked a goal here in the fourth quarter. And he could kick his second and put the Northern Bombers back in front.
I'm not wholly convinced that was 15.
No, it was a short 15, if anything.
Very short one, but it's been paid. Big opportunity here.
Zach Burt, can he kick his second and put the Bombers back in front? He makes no mistake. Straight up over the goal umpire's head. So North Lonnie with the first 2 of the last quarter, and they've hit the lead again.
Yeah, they've got 2 early in the term, which will certainly help their cause. Now they've got probably 20 minutes left in this one with the wind at their backs. They've erased the deficit, and important that they did that early in the quarter. That's a big blow for the Tigers.
It'll be interesting now to see what the response is from the Tigers. They were in this spot maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago against Launceston down here. They led for the majority of the game, and then Lonnie came home with a rush in the last quarter. So they've been in a similar spot down here at home against a pretty good outfit. So can they turn their fortunes today? If they can replicate their third quarter performance, it's fair to say they will. Eddie Cole applies a good tackle on Walsh. So we are in for a grandstand finish here at the Twins. We'll get you a score update from Bluntstone Arena in a few moments. The other top 4 clash of the round. North Hobart winning the other game of the day over at KG5 over the Pies. As Event streams inside 50 now. No one's on the goal line. That's going to go through. Jackie Event has kicked another for the Bombers. They've kicked 3 in the last quarter. And they have all the momentum at this point of the game, do the Northern Bombers.
Yeah, it's been a fine response from them. 3 goals early in this term, and they kick out to a 9-point advantage. This has been the scoring end all afternoon, and we're seeing that here. Great little finish on the run there from Jack Event. Confident finish, and won the ball quickly out of the middle.
Just as North Lonnie hit the lead here at Twin Ovals, it's been a pretty similar situation over the river at Bellerive. Launceston, 5 minutes gone in the fourth quarter, have taken a 3-point lead over the home side in Clarence. So 2 grandstand finishes here in around 20 TSL action. You should get over to Bellerive, watch that one live and pop your phone on your lap and watch this one on the stream. That would be my advice. As Sanders streams in now inside 50. Ollie Sanders, that one's through the big sticks. Sorry, that was Riley Sanders. And he's kicked another one for the Bombers, and it's now danger signs for the Tigers.
What a goal. Riley Sanders takes this out of the middle, waltzes past them like witches' hats, and then slams it through from 50. I really liked his game in the first half behind the ball in defence. They moved him onto the ball in this final term to try and do a little better in there, and he's made his mark here And the blink of an eye, they've got now a comfortable 15-point lead, and the Tigers need to kick 4 or 5 goals into the wind. They've made their move, and it's a decisive one, I think. That's been a tough last few minutes here. They've waltzed out of the middle, and they've hit the scoreboard. Efficiency that was the name of the game in the first half. It's returned. And it's going to be very tough for the Tigers from here, and tougher still.
Got the footy again.
Free kicks going the way of Walsh. They're really starting to get on top in the middle here now, the Bombers, and Walsh will send them inside 50 once more. It's a dangerous-looking kick. Couldn't quite bring the mark down. The handball from Rushton. Off hands. The kick was well smothered, though. Now they'll all pile in, and we should have a ball up. But as we're just about to tick past 10 minutes now in the final term, 4 goals early on here have really swung the pendulum back the way of the Bombers.
Yep, and it's now, as much as it is a momentum and a physical thing for the Tigers, it's as much a mental thing too. They've got to get in the mindset that they were in a similar spot to this last week at Clarence, and they had to walk away with a win. So they're not out of this one until the final siren. But if Tommy Bennett puts this one through, it makes it incredibly difficult. It'll extend the lead to 21 points, and it really has been a tale of 2 quarters here in the second half. So we said 6 goals to 1 in the third, and this will be 5 goals now to 0 here in the fourth quarter. We're only 10.5 minutes played. So Tom Bennett, he's kicked 1 already in the game as the big man. Can he put through the Bombers' 5th and extend this lead out to 21 points? He's made the goal umpire work for that, but he's put it through the big sticks. Tom Bennett puts through his 2nd, and the lead's back out to 21 points.
Yeah, they've flexed their muscles here, the Bombers. They're a powerful outfit. It's been them and Launceston who've been so dominant for so much of this season. And they've just gone, hang on a sec. We're just going to put this game to bed here.
Stamp their authority, haven't they?
10 minutes and gone, right. Suddenly we've skipped away here to a 21-point lead.
So 8-10. 58 plays 12-7, 79, and we spoke in that first quarter, Andrew, about how bad kicking can come back to cost you, and if this game gets under that 10 to 15-point margin, that bad kicking in the first quarter could come back to hurt the Tigers.
It can, as we see Elijah Reardon just attacking off the back of the square there and trying to get them going forwards, but it's much harder kicking into this wind to get the purchase and get that ball in deep there.
If anything, they really need this next goal just to give them a little bit of confidence back half of this quarter.
They desperately need that. There's been an avalanche of goals at the other end. Lockie Clifford taken by 2 as the intensity of the Bombers has certainly lifted.
You can feel it, can't you?
I think Bradley Cox-Goodyear might have fired off a few home throws at 3/4 time and said that last quarter was unacceptable.
Yeah,
we're a premiership contender. That's not the level we should be playing at. And boy, have they responded here.
Yeah. As much as I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall at half-time with Trent Ball, I would have much preferred to be in that huddle at 3/4 time for North Lonnie, because I'm sure, as you said, Andrew, Brad Cox-Goodyear would have sent a few home truths his side's way, and they've come out and responded in terrific fashion. As Jack Evans got the footy now, he gives off to a teammate. He's going to take a bounce. He can take a second one here, but he elects to give over the top. Sanders is there, the goal kicker from before. Reardon's there for company. Good work there from Elijah Reardon. The ball fumbles out. Leary comes through. Might have been taken without it. Play on since the umpire. Could have been high there. As Event kicks his footy forward now. It's inside 50, but it comes straight back out. Leary's going to send it over his shoulder to his coaching, Cox-Goodyear. We know what he can do from 50 metres out, this man. Cox-Goodyear's put that through the middle. North Launceston are on fire.
There's your ball game. And it's Cox-Goodyear calling game halfway into this final term. And they have already matched what we were so impressed with the Tigers doing last quarter. They've kicked 6
in less time.
A great effort to do that in a quarter. They've done it in 14 minutes. This has been emphatic. They have dispatched the Tigers here. And their key movers all getting involved. Cox-Goodyear.
Just have to think.
Another one.
He's just said on that occasion, follow me, boys. I'll put this through from 50. We'll tee this one up. And we'll show that we are, in terms of ladder position, the second best team in the comp. And when they've been challenged in this game, they've responded terrifically, have the Bombers. So, no doubt, plenty of Northern Bombers fans watching along on the stream. You'd be pretty happy with the fourth quarter performance of your side. Down here at the Twins, it'll be you'd have to think, if they hold this lead, a pretty happy bus trip home.
Yeah, not too much for them to worry about. They're going to be away to Launceston week 1 of the finals. It's pretty much locked in at this point, but they'll be pretty happy that they've been able to flip the switch and produce a spell like this as Jack Event takes the ball. They're all lining up now as the Tigers look slightly defeated, I must say, off the ball. I think they know they might have run their race. It's Griggs chipping into the pocket. The verve and tenacity they brought in that third quarter has just wilted a little here. It's a little handy, just impacted Graham trying to mark the ball. Eventually able to bring it under his spell, but turned it straight back over. And there is Jack Event. He's had plenty of it in this final term for the Bombers, and he swings them inside 50 once more. Off hands out the back. Campbell's there. Handball across to Griggs. Got himself into a little bit of trouble. Went back to Campbell under duress from Edmonds. Edmonds swung a handball out there, and eventually picking through was Griffiths. Can he get his kick away? Yes. He can. Harvey Griffiths joins in on the party, and they've kicked 7. They've kicked 7 through the first 3 quarters of this one. They've matched that in 15 minutes here in the final term. This has been a frightening display from one of the premiership fancies. They've been such a great team for so many years. Launceston have emerged as the front runners this year, but I think we're seeing in this little final quarter here, when they're playing their best, they are an awesome side. And
just the ability of this club, they've lost so many of their stars from their premiership years, and the ability to bring in guys like Michael Stingle, guys like Jack Event's been around a long time, but he's really stepped up his game this year. Ollie Sanders has come in as a young guy, Ryan Whitney, Nathan Pearce this year, Brandon Leary. The ability to bring guys like that in and still be up the top end of the ladder, they've shown why in this last quarter, why they're such a good outfit. As the footy's come back inside 50 now for the Tigers. Tom Wright's the man with it. What's he going to do? He's going to elect to give this one off to a teammate, but that's cut off well there by the skipper in Jay Foon. He's had probably a quiet day by his standards, Jay Foon, but he's still had plenty of the footy. We know what a star he is. He's right up the top of the leaderboard for the Player of the Year. So we know what a damaging player he is. As Sanders has the footy now, brings up the wing. He's found Event. He gives a handball off to a teammate in Edmonds, who gives it back to Event. He kicks inside 50 now. Leary in front, can't take the mark. Good follow-up, though, by the young man. It's gone an up and under footy. Tried to take his own mark there. Wouldn't have been 15. As Pearce has it. Can he kick his second of the day? Pearce, he puts it straight through the middle. And that just about, if it wasn't already, seals the deal for the Bombers. It's been some kind of response here in the last quarter, Andrew Cooling.
Yeah, if you just popped out for a few minutes, you're bobbing back in. You might have left at three-quarter time when it was 58 to 48.
Yep, 10 points.
Yeah, there's not a scoreboard error. There's 8 goals won to nothing in 17 minutes here.
Yeah, did not expect this at all, considering the way the Tigers came out in that third quarter. And what did they kick? 6-2, 38 to 128. And North Lonnie have said, hang on, boys, we'll show you how a response is done. And they've come out and they now lead this one 15-7, 97 to 8-10, 58. So with 17 and a half minutes almost gone, this one is well and truly over. So the Tigers will lose this one today, but they're locked into the finals, so they'll probably lose that home final. Fair to say they'll take on Clarence in the first week of finals at Blunston Arena, and as we saw last week, that will probably give them no fear at all, considering they had that miraculous win last week against Clarence at Blunston Arena. Yeah,
it sets up nicely for a rematch of an absolute thriller, and Clarence now, even if they were to lose to Launceston, just need to take the points against North Hobart, which you'd imagine they should do next week.
They should do, up by 5 points at the minute. Sorry, 4 points, I should say, at Clarence. So they've taken the lead again over at Blunston. So
might not even need to beat North Hobart.
No, exactly right. So if they can tee up a win today, that'll give them a bucket load of confidence beating the Premier, the reigning Premier, I should say. They've only been beaten the once this year, have Launceston. So if Clarence can get a win this late in the year against the reigning Premier and the favourite for the flag in 2021, that'll give them a massive amount of confidence. And fair to say, I don't think Jeremy Reveley pulled up too well, so he was an out today. So to be able to do it without their playing coach, who's had a pretty good year, has Jez, that'll be some sort of performance from Clarence. This ball's gone out of bounds in front of the North Launceston bench. 97 plays 58, and as you said, Andrew, it's not a scoreboard error. It's just been an avalanche from North Launceston here in the last quarter.
Slamming on 8 goals to no score. It's been emphatic stuff as the Ballers have just flexed their muscles. That probably should have been a free kick against Gardner. Pretty blatantly in the back. Got away with it though. And the handball across now to Eddie Cole. Cole just sliding one inside 50. Unfortunately just pitched in front of his forward there in College. Quite get to it and out for a throw in.
I think it's fair to say too, a fair bit of work will be done in the week off next week from the Tigers, just in terms of, especially when they're at home, they're probably a 3 or 4 goal better side at home, but even though they tend to kick big scores at home, they can let sides get a run on, as they did with Lonnie 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they've let it happen here again today with North Lonnie. So no doubt Trent Buller will study the tapes from a few games against the top 4 sides and see where he can get a bit of improvement out of his side and kind of halt momentum when it isn't in their favour. So the ball's inside 50 now. As Tom Wright's got the footy, can he put that one through? He does. So a bit little too late for the Tigers, but they kick one here in the 4th quarter. Tom Wright's put it through the big sticks. That's his first of the day. Just brings that margin back, but it's going to be far too much for the Tigers to get any kind of winning result today. 9-10-64 plays 15-7-97. Score update over at Launceston Arena. It's now a 3-point ball game. 16 minutes gone, I should say. Cody Thorpe's kicked 5 for the Blues so far. Josh Green 3, Colin Garland 2. So all the big movers getting on the scoreboard at Launceston Arena. So we are now round 20 TSL action. 1 week to go in the regular season before the serious stuff kicks off, Andrew. Finals time is everyone's favourite time of the year.
Yeah, not too far away now from the final series as teams finalising their preparation for teams like North Launceston, I suppose, for knowing you've kind of been locked into the top 2 for most of the year. It's perhaps finding the motivation week to week can be tough as the year wanes on a little, and maybe that explains some of the just, letting Kingborough get away from it a little in this game. They flicked the switch here and really dialed in this last quarter.
And that'll be the big thing next week. They've got Glenorchy at home next week, next Saturday at 1 o'clock at UTAS. So that'll be the big thing. We might see a few players rested because you have to think North Lonnie account pretty comfortably for Glenorchy at home. They've done that against most sides at home this year. We know how good they play UTAS Stadium. So you'd have to think next week they might walk away with a win there and sew up a top 2 spot. Other games next week have North Hobart playing Clarence at North Hobart Oval in the only game down south, and Launceston hosting Lauderdale, who had the bye today. So a couple of games next week that are pretty important for top 4 sides not to walk away with any huge injuries or suspensions heading into the first week of finals. And also for a few of the star players of the comp to stamp their name in terms of Player of the Year. Calculations for Team of the Year, RACT Player of the Year award. A lot of guys, that battle's really tough at the top. I think you've got Jay Blackberry, Jay Kynes and Jay Foon all sitting around that 2019 vote mark, and then you've got Braycox Goodyear sitting on 14. So a few of the big movers from up north, if they can have some pretty good performances today, I think Braycox Goodyear, could be a part of the votes today.
Firmly in the mix today, I would have
thought. So he might creep his way up that little leaderboard, and he might join his teammate in Foon and his rivals across the river in Blackberry and Hines for company, and it could be a terrific battle come the last week of the season to see who wins that award. As Nathan Pearce has got the footy now, he comes in to goal. He might kick his 3rd of the day. I don't think he will. Never trouble the goal umpire there. So that brings North Lonnie to 15-8-98, almost at that ton mark, to 9-10-64 Kingborough. Andrew Cooling.
The clearing kick in the Reardon direction. He's so good in the air. That was a late score. I thought he had plenty of it, Elijah Reardon, and he will be paid it. In the end, he's swung back into defence here in the second half after playing the first half in the forward line. They've tried to get his impact behind the ball. Always a tough one for them to see who can have the most impact. Such a lively, creative player as Reardon, as Zach Adams will swing them forwards once more. It comes down in the swirl from behind into the hands of Bennett. Couldn't quite control it at first, but eventually he lopes on clear. Teammate under a bit of pressure here. That's well wrapped up by Campbell. Just applying the tackle on Ollie Sanders, ensuring he couldn't skip away as they look to switch it back out the other side. They had plenty of willing runners, so a good tackle from Campbell. This one's picked up ground level out across to Bennett, and going to get back on the end of this one. He'll chip down the line. Touched, and in the end Stingle makes it work. Turns back one way, then the other. He sent Campbell off to get some candy and then swings it inside 50 with a lovely kick, just about a metre short, though, of the leading Pearce. Tackled without the ball, perhaps there was Leary. Godomski will have a ball up inside 50 as they try and raise the bat here this afternoon at North Launceston. They've taken care of the victory with an emphatic burst to start the final term. Can they push over 100 points now? Campbell had plenty of it today. Dish the handball off, and the clearing kick down the line is always to the favour of the Bombers as it just rolls out ahead of young O'Reilly Sanders, who's another one I think might be featuring in the votes conversation.
Yeah, had a really good, as you said before, Andrew, had a really good game. First half in the back half of the ground, and then he's played predominantly in the forward half of the ground and in the middle in the second half, and we saw him kick that terrific goal from the boundary line in this quarter, so he could feature in the votes, as could this man, his brother in Ollie Sanders. He gives off to Michael Stingle, who's had a terrific season. Campbell cuts that one off down in front of Walsh. Umpire says mark paid. So score update from Launceston Arena again. 85 plays 81. Clarence leading that one by 4 points. So a tight contest there. So if you're over at Launceston Arena, you've been treated to a cracker. The best ground in the south of the state. Footy's gone inside 50 now for the Tigers. Good mark taken there to Blake McCulloch, who's been shifted forward. So defender turned forward will have his first shot on goal for the day. And look to put through the Tigers second in what's been a pretty disappointing fourth quarter. It'll be interesting to see Coach Trent Bulmer's thoughts in tomorrow's paper about how he saw this game, because they had a terrific third quarter but not so great fourth quarter. It's Blake McCulloch doesn't trouble the goal umpire there. So it'll be interesting to see what he says to his side post-game and to reporters post-game, Andrew, because if you'd asked him at three-quarter time if he was impressed with his side, he definitely would have said yes. But I reckon if you asked him post-game, his thoughts would have changed completely, because an 8-goal last quarter isn't what you want against a fellow top four side.
Yeah, and this is the standard you're going to have to beat in finals.
Yep.
It's North Launceston.
And probably, too, up at UTAS Stadium.
Yes, so that's likely. Of course, they'll have to get past Clarence first. We're going to have the rematch of last week's
elimination final, that one?
Yeah, pretty sure it's 3-4 and 1-2 is the double chance.
Yep.
So pretty sure.
Yeah.
We're not giving out fake news there, but that was my understanding.
No, I think you're right. From memory, that's the way it works this year in the TSL. So, as you said, they've really let an opportunity go begging today, the Tigers, because they could have really done everything they can to sew up a home final in 2 weeks' time, but hasn't been their way today. But as we said, they probably hold no fears going over the river to Launceston Arena. And as we said, if Clarence can keep ahead of North Lonnie, it wouldn't have really made much difference in the end either way if they had got a win today. So Clarence really held all the cards in the chest for them. And that top three spot as the footy's come out now to Adams. Gives off to Clifford. Good smother there by Cox Goodyear. Might have been taken high. He was, says the umpire. Adams doesn't agree with that one. Cox Goodyear says, watch this, young son. I will put this through the big sticks. And that's exactly what he's done, Cox Goodyear. No doubt he's going to let him know about that, because Zach Adams wasn't happy with that on the mark. And it's exactly what's happened here as you see a bit of push and shove. You saw Cox Goodyear just get to his feet, and he had that little thought in his head to say, listen here, young pup, I've been around this comp a lot longer than you. I've put through many a goal from 50 metres on the run, so I'll show you how it's done. And that's exactly what he's done. He's kicked his third goal for the day. There's no doubt he will be featured in the votes today. Cox Goodyear is led from the front. They now lead this game 16-8, 104 to 9-11, 65.
Might have wrapped up 3 votes there.
Yep, he could have done exactly that, Andrew.
That was genius, though. He's used the umpire as a
shield.
He has gone, you're going to screen me beautifully. I'm just going to burst off around here, and you're not going to be able to get access to me.
You saw Adams. You probably would have been too happy with the umpire, considering you blocked him pretty well there, but the umpire wasn't too aware of what Cox Goodyear was going to do. So, you know what a star he is. He's probably next to Jay Bowden, one of the best players the TSL has ever seen. Saw him say a few weeks ago in the paper that if he applied himself when he was a bit younger, he thinks he might have been able to cut it at the elite level. So he's definitely a guy that, as he's matured, Cox Goodyear, he's been able to realise that he is a very good football player, and we've seen why he's one of the most decorated state league players in history in a time when North Lonnie's been one of definitely the most decorated team in the comp for the last 4 to 5 years.
He's been a star of this dynasty, if you will, and the ball will end in the arms of Elijah Reardon, who's got the chance for a little consolation marker here to bring it back to 33 points with the final kick of the afternoon. He leans back and he misses. So a 38-point victory it will be for North Launceston. They flicked the switch in that final term. They were challenged as they trailed by 10 points heading into that final quarter, but within a matter of minutes they had swept up that advantage, and from there they just put the foot to the accelerator and really coasted to the finish line. It was a powerful last quarter and another victory for this awesome Bombers side, and it does mean the Kingborough's regular season comes to an end with them locked presumably into 4th place, barring Clarence losing late today and losing to North Hobart last week. You think that means they face the journey to Launceston week 1 of the finals?
Yeah, Clarence still up by 3 points with time on in the 4th quarter over at Launceston Arena. So if we get a final result before we head offline here, we'll give that to you. But yeah, it was a terrific performance there from the Bombers. They controlled all of the play in that first half against an inaccurate Tigers, and then the Tigers came out and kicked 6-2, 38 to 1-8 in the 3rd quarter, but then North Launceston said, no, this is how you do it. They kicked 8-2, 50 to 1-8 in the 4th quarter. So some kind of response there from the Northern Bombers in the last quarter. We'll run through the goal scorers before I shift to you, Andrew, for your best players from the Bombers, and I'll try and go through the Tigers lineup. For the Bombers, Brad Cox-Goodyear finished with 3, and we had doubles to Brandon Leary, Nathan Pearce and Zach Burt. And we had singles to Tom Bennett, Jack Event, Jack Rushton and Harvey Griffiths, the late in. While for the Tigers, we had Marcus Gardner kick 3. He really dominated that 3rd quarter. He was the star. We had 2 to Sam Dygan, and we had singles to Eddie Cole, Will Campbell, Luke Graham and Tom Wright in the last quarter. So, Andrew, fair to say it'd be pretty easy to pick the best players for North Lawney considering the last quarter they had there.
Yeah, Cox-Goodyear, the class of Cox-Goodyear really shone through. I thought he was outstanding. Riley Sanders waxed lyrical about him throughout the contest. Thought he had a fine game off half-back and then making an impact in the midfield in that final quarter. Kicked possibly the goal of the day.
Yep.
Thought the defensive unit was really solid, really apart from being unable to stop Marcus Gardner there for a period in the 3rd quarter. I thought Stingle was really impressive. Fletcher Bennett did some nice things. Jack Event had plenty of it as the game wore on. I was impressed with him. Young Sanders continues to show good signs. Ryan Whitney had a bit of class about him. And I thought maybe one of the more underrated players today was Blade Sulzberger. I thought he did some really nice things. So I'd probably say they were my best from North Launceston. But yeah, I thought Cox-Goodyear was the pick of the bunch today. Yeah,
fair to say he'll walk away with a 3. From me, for the Tigers, as we said, Marcus Gardner was probably the standout. Really, that 3rd quarter was where he stamped his authority on the game. I thought the skipper, Lockie Clifford, played his trade well, had plenty of the footy, as did Eddie Cole in the guts. Thought Sam Dygan battled hard all day, kicked 2. And other than that, it was probably hard to find anyone else, considering probably that, as I said, they really only dominated the 3rd quarter. And other than that, it was really North Launceston for the majority of the game. So a few good players there for the Tigers, but as we said, it was all North Launceston, and it was an 8-goal last quarter that's got them the win today. Just before we sign off, it's still a 3-point lead to Clarence over at Blunston. So it's fair to say we reckon they might walk away with a win there. But from myself, Ryan Rosendale, Andrew Cooling, it's been a terrific contest here. A top 4 clash has ended with a commanding win to North Launceston. They've walked away 16-8, 104 to 9-12, 66 winners. Andrew Cooling, always a pleasure to call with you.
Indeed, lovely to see you, sir.
We'll see you next week on the stream. Wherever you are, have a safe week. Bye for now.